This is the story of Lucas, a kid basically born with fate resting right in his hands. He is an absolute cultivation genius. Seriously, by age 5 he is already a literal poison master. Guarding him is Master Wuju, easily one of the strongest fighters in the martial world. Lucas also holds onto a mysterious box hiding the single most destructive weapon on the planet. Power so insane it could wipe out all humanity in a split second. From his mom, he inherited an insanely strong master, the perfect cultivation body, and total noble status. But with those perks came some massive red flags. Why did his mother die with that master nearby? Where did that crazy weapon even originate? And most importantly, who is his dad? Right before she died, his mom gave one rule: if you see guards in red, run away fast. Yet somehow those exact red-clothed guards are now kneeling down, actually calling him their young master. So who is he really? And what exactly sits inside that box everyone is so desperate to steal? The guy is drowning in questions, and honestly, we are about to watch him tear this world apart just to get ridiculously strong. Early on, we learn humans got completely obsessed with power, pushing their technology to some seriously extreme levels. But chasing power gave them absolutely nothing. Instead, humanity pretty much just brought about its own total destruction. The few actual survivors ended up sealing all their crazy tech inside a single temple. War left the land completely barren and dead. But after a massive time skip, the world recovered and humanity bounced back. Then one day, those temple gates swing open. A mysterious girl steps out, grabbing all those overpowered weapons stored inside. Her name is Yikan Mei. She makes tons of allies and skyrockets her family's overall status. She also brought a supreme book from that temple, letting the Nanking Institute rise up incredibly fast. Thanks to her advanced technology, the whole world completely transformed. But then, one random day, Yikan Mei gets suddenly killed, leaving her young boy behind. The scene shifts over. We see this insanely strong master carrying a kid in a basket, getting ambushed by a ton of assassins. That kid is our main character, Lucas. He is completely lost, wondering whose body he just hijacked. Mere seconds ago, he was dying in a hospital bed. Then, plot twist, he wakes up entirely reborn. Now, endless assassins are trying to kill him. The guy protecting him is his mom's servant, Supreme Master Wuju. Lucas can easily tell that his new bodyguard is way out of the Assassin's League. But soon, Wuju gets completely swarmed. Lucas starts crying, thinking, well, I am totally dead now. Then bam, the assassins get wiped instantly. Wuju mutters that the mechanical knights have finally arrived. Right then, Chen Ping steps up, the dean of the Nanking Institute. He brags that the outside world will never grasp how their magic powers are basically garbage against true technology. The dean asks where Yikan Mei went. Wuju says she was killed, demanding a real explanation for all this. Spotting the baby, Chen Ping asks if it is her son. Wuju just nods. But the second Chen Ping actually looks at Lucas's face, the guy nearly faints from shock. He mutters that the kid looks identical to her. Assassins were everywhere, yet he sleeps completely fine. Wuju snaps back, you have seen enough, stop staring at the boy right now. When asked where they are going, Wuju just says far away where no one can hurt him. The dean argues the capital will be completely safe once his master returns. Wuju just laughs, trusting that guy 0%. Chen Ping sneers at Wuju, you are literally blind, what can you even teach a kid? Sure, martial artists bow to you, but you only know murder. Wuju instantly shoots back, and you are crippled. What could you possibly teach? Chen Ping pauses, then admits he knows the perfect place for him. Somewhere he can live under a new identity. Wuju asks where, and Chen Ping says Tianju. He can change his name and just live. Fast forward, a grown-up Lucas is hyping up solo leveling to his friends. His buddies argue Martial Peak was amazing, while a girl nearby claims immortal Luo Wuji is better. Lucas just sighs, you guys are kids, you seriously do not get how epic solo leveling is. Suddenly a friend sprints over, panicking, Lucas, get home, now your butler is attacking everyone. The scene shifts. The butler violently beats the maids, demanding they reveal where the young master went. They cry out that they have no clue. Then one of them blurts out that maybe Gwen knows. Gwen holds firm the young master forbade her, she is not saying a word. The butler just sneers at that. He tells her she will just have to take the punishment then. Gwen panics, remembering Lucas told her to stay totally quiet. This guy might actually beat her to death. Even so, she bravely tells him to hit her as much as he wants. She refuses to speak. The butler coldly agrees to grant her death wish, but right on cue, Lucas finally shows up. Lucas yells out, demanding how he dares touch his maids. The butler fires right back, blaming Lucas for taking the young miss away. If anything had happened to her, they would all be in huge trouble. He admits he cannot punish the young master, but he can definitely punish the maids for encouraging him. Roya immediately steps up, declaring she will handle this mess. She wants to confront the extremely rude butler herself. Lucas just shakes his head, telling her she is too young. No need for her to get involved at all. Lucas marches right up, climbs onto a chair, and orders the butler closer. He places a tiny hand on the guy's cheek, calmly telling him to stand still. The butler scoffs internally at this 4-year-old. What could a toddler? He knocks out a tooth for good measure. Lucas tells him that is a lesson learned. Furious, the butler yells about his youthful arrogance. Vowing to tattle to the old lady, the bleeding butler soon stands right before her, complaining bitterly about it. The young master hit him, which is totally unacceptable. But Lucas fires back. Grandma, ignore this absolute scoundrel. In his eyes, he did nothing wrong. Roya chimes in, agreeing the butler is awful for beating her brother's maids. So her brother punished him. Hearing this, the old lady decides to just replace all of Lucas's maids completely. Lucas quickly objects, no need for that at all, but Grandma is firm, demanding he do exactly as she says. Shooting the butler a deeply sarcastic glare, Lucas asks, "You came to complain, right? Are you satisfied now?" The old lady drops a bombshell. After dinner, Roya returns to the capital, and that decision is absolutely final. Later on, Lucas arrives home. Gwen greets her young master warmly. Surprised, he asks why she has not gone home. With tears in her eyes, Gwen admits she has nowhere to go. This mansion was her entire life. Now that she is fired, nobody else will hire her. Lucas gently points out that their situations are pretty similar. Confused, she asks what he means. He simply states the facts neither of them has parents around anymore. She hesitates, but his father holds a seriously high position in the capital. Lucas stays calm. His mother is dead and he has never met his dad. As far as he cares, the man does not exist. He tells her to stay right here, he will handle everything. Feeling incredibly grateful, Gwen silently thanks her master. Lying in bed that night, Lucas cannot stop thinking. Roya is heading back to the capital. Will the food be better there? It is the capital, so obviously yes. But he just cannot sleep. Why is her leaving bothering him this much? But watch closely, a dark figure creeps onto the roof. Inside, Lucas mutters in frustration. Sleep is just not happening. He pulls out a plain yellow book with no title. Master Wuju gave him this thing when he was little. Thanks to reading tons of manhwa in his past life, he instantly recognizes the drawings as a legit cultivation method. After a solid year of practice, he is actually getting pretty good. Suddenly, an assassin slips into the room. Startled, Lucas realizes this guy wants blood. The intruder demands, "Are you Lucas?" Lucas just suddenly hugs him. "Father, you are finally back." The man coldly brushes him off. "Father, my name is Feizi and I am definitely not your dad." Lucas completely ignores this, insisting he knows the truth. During the struggle, Lucas accidentally rips Feizi's shirt right open. "Oops, sorry about that," he chirps. Feizi snaps again. "I literally just told you I am not your father." Lucas calmly tells him to relax. "I even prepared some tea for you." Feizi gets even more irritated, barking that he is not his dad. But seeing the kid on the absolute verge of tears, he reluctantly takes the cup. Sipping it, he asks who actually made this tea. "My mother," Lucas answers. Feizi frowns and tells him to stop the nonsense. His mother died during childbirth. Lucas shoots back, asking what he means his mom is always with him. Feizi suddenly realizes something about his torn clothes. They are made of high-grade material that a knife could barely scratch. Yet this 4-year-old tore them instantly. Suddenly, Lucas claims his mom is here. Feizi looks over, seeing absolutely nothing. "I knew it," he mutters. "This brat is just messing with me." In a flash, Lucas smacks Feizi directly on the head with a solid jade object. One hit paralyzes him completely. Not enough, Lucas declares, striking him again. The jade shatters completely on impact. Lucas thinks fast. This assassin was definitely dangerous. Good thing he used his actual brain to survive. But is the guy dead? Definitely not. A pro like this won't drop from 2 hits. He will wake up soon and absolutely kill him. There is only one way to make sure this guy stays perfectly quiet. Yeah, this kid does not mess around. Lucas pulls out Feizi's own dagger to finish him off. The scene shifts. Lucas arrives at Master Wuju's place, begging Uncle Wuju to quickly open the front door. Uncle Wuju replies from inside the shop is closed. "If you want something, come back tomorrow." Lucas urgently announces that an assassin attacked him. Uncle Wuju casually asks what he is supposed to do about it. Should he report it to the guards? Lucas panics and says no because he might have actually killed the guy. Uncle Wuju just sighs. He tells the young master to completely stop joking around. He says a 4-year-old cannot even kill an ant. Lucas insists this is incredibly serious and demands he stop acting. If anyone finds out about the murder, he will be thrown straight into prison. Wuju has protected him forever, so he has to help. Uncle Wuju finally steps outside, muttering about how the young master is always getting into massive trouble. Lucas grabs him. There is no time to talk, they just need to go. They quickly arrive right where Feizi went down. Uncle Wuju checks the body and confirms he is not dead. Lucas is shocked, arguing he hit him twice on the head. Wuju casually explains that the guy is not an assassin. Right at that moment, Feizi actually starts to regain consciousness. But Lucas just smashes a chair over his head again. Can you blame him? Wuju sighs. This is Master Feizi. He is the head of the Overwatch Council's 3rd Bureau, and he literally works directly under Lucas's father. Lucas is completely shocked. Why didn't he mention that earlier? Plus, it is not his fault the guy looked exactly like a real assassin. Uncle Wuju continues explaining. Master Feizi is a highly powerful poison master possessing absolute mastery over everything from identifying deadly toxins to completely neutralizing them. Lucas loudly gulps. If he is that strong, he will absolutely be furious. Lucas tells Wuju it might be time to silence him forever. Uncle Wuju just stares, asking how a 4-year-old child could possibly be this insanely cruel. Lucas calmly insists no one will ever find out. Wuju mentions that he knows the guy works for his father, but he has zero idea why he is actually here. Right then, Master Feizi wakes up groaning about his terrible headache. After a bit, they get his wounds nicely bandaged up. Feizi asks what just happened to him. Lucas lies fast, saying he served tea, and after drinking it, Feizi got suddenly sleepy. Feizi frowns. Then why is his head bleeding? Lucas innocently explains that after getting sleepy, he fell over and smacked his head on the table. Feizi narrows his eyes, perfectly remembering that Lucas was the one who hit him. Lucas nervously waves his little hands. He denies it completely. He is just a tiny innocent child. Why would he ever hit a grown man? Feizi mutters if that is true who actually attacked him. Lucas immediately points a finger and blames Uncle Wuju. Feizi slowly nods. If Master Wuju hit him, then it was his own mistake. He never should have arrived like that. Honestly, getting beaten up by Master Wuju is nothing to be ashamed of. Wuju immediately defends himself. He did not do it. The one who actually hit him was the young master, and not just once, but 3 whole times. Lucas realizes he is completely doomed. Feizi looks visibly surprised, admitting he never expected one of the 5 greatest masters of the martial world to be hiding out in Tenju. It is completely incredible. After so many years, none of them have aged a bit. Uncle Wuju gets serious. Why is he really here? Feizi replies that Lord Earl paid him a massive sum to come here. He is officially hired as Lucas's new master. Lucas asks if his father sent him. Wuju notes that was definitely not part of his original agreement with the Lord. Feizi explains that the young master will grow up and eventually head to the capital, and everyone knows how dangerous the capital really is. The sooner he gets strong, the better, but if Wuju objects, he will leave. Offending the Lord is fine, but he refuses to offend Wuju. Uncle Wuju thinks for a second. That crippled man is extremely cunning, and he would never send an expert here for something trivial. Feizi absolutely agrees. The mysterious box that the young lady possessed was never actually found. If it falls into the wrong hands, things could get really bad. Their lord desperately needs his help. Uncle Wuju replies firmly, there is no point searching for it anymore. The young lady completely destroyed it right before she died. Feizi lets out a massive sigh of relief. Good to hear. But this young master is pretty unusual, especially for a 4-year-old kid. He was already given such an intensely powerful cultivation method. If he had practiced it incorrectly, something truly terrible could have happened. Uncle Wuju clarifies he only handed over the book. He never taught him how to cultivate. Now that Feizi is his master, making him stronger is his job. Feizi has a strong feeling this child will become someone totally extraordinary in the future. The very next day, Grandma asks Master Fei what on earth happened to him. Feizi replies he came here to become the young master's teacher, but on the way, some thugs jumped him and beat him badly. Grandma says that is terrible. Were they caught? Feizi answers, yes, do not worry, they have already been dealt with. His enemy was pretty cunning, but now he has plenty of ways to teach him a lesson. The maids whisper among themselves. This guy just joined the family yesterday. He is supposed to be the young master's new teacher, but he looks way more like a gangster. Lucas steps forward, asking the master to please forgive him for what happened yesterday. It was not his fault. If you enter a 4-year-old child's room in the middle of the night, of course the kid will get scared. By the way, teacher, what are you going to teach me? Feizi just smiles. He will teach him how to use toxins to eliminate enemies, and how to detoxify any kind of poison. Hearing this, Lucas gets super excited. That sounds like an absolutely amazing lesson. So master, what are we waiting for? Time to start right now. Does he want him to catch some rats for experiments? Looking at the kid? Master Fei wonders if this boy is really just 4 years old. Most kids would be terrified hearing about toxins, but watch this, the boy is actually excited. That night, they hit a dark cemetery. Master Fei points out they are in a cemetery right now. Lucas replies completely calmly, yes, master, he can see that. Trying to scare the kid, Master Fei tells him he needs to dig up a tomb. Lucas just looks around and points that one looks good. They will dig this one, but master, he is just a child. Digging an entire tomb is way too difficult for him. Why doesn't he help? Master Fei hands him a shovel. Stop talking, start digging. So Lucas starts digging while Master Fei sits nearby drinking leisurely. After a while, Lucas announces that it is finally done. Should they open the casket now? Master Fei tells him to wait a second. Does he even know why they are here? Lucas answers simply, they are here to perform an examination so he can fully understand the structure of the human body. For a first lesson, this is pretty impressive. Master Fei is completely shocked. Why isn't this kid scared? And how does he already know this? Then Lucas punches the casket and smashes it open. He asks if the master said something. Master Fei quickly replies, no, nothing. Now it is time to cut open the body and find out how this person died. But as Lucas picks up a knife, he suddenly hesitates. Smiling, Master Fei says he is finally scared. No matter how much he pretends, he is really still just a 4-year-old kid. He knew he would be afraid. Lucas replies he is not scared at all. The body must be full of germs. He needs some protection. Master Fei asks what germs are. Lucas just says it is dirty and he needs some gloves. Master Fei replies that examinations are dangerous work. How will he do it while wearing thick gloves? Lucas clarifies not thick gloves, but thin ones that fit tightly on the hands. Master Fei just shakes his head. He has never heard of such things. Just wash your hands after using the knife. That is the only option they have. Lucas sighs, guessing he has no choice. Then he begins the messy examination. Master Fei admits the kid is quite smart. By now, he must understand why he is learning about toxins. Lucas replies, yes, it is simple. He belongs to a very powerful family. And he is also his father's illegitimate son. The other mothers will definitely try to eliminate him, and poison is the absolute easiest way. He is being taught toxins just to protect himself. Master Fei nods. He is absolutely right. Uncle Wuju might be completely immune to toxins, but he cannot always protect him. Lucas then points out the master was very respectful toward Uncle Wuju, asking for his real identity. Master Fei replies his full name is Master Wuju. He used to be his mother's servant, and his martial arts skills are on par with the 4 great masters of this world. Lucas asks if his mother was very powerful. Fei shakes his head. He would not call her powerful, but she was entirely unique. Her methods were unlike anything else in this world, and her knowledge was simply extraordinary. He can say with absolute certainty that she was a true genius. Lucas then asks quietly if that is the case, why did she pass away? Master Fei replies he is afraid he cannot tell him that. Then he adds, why is he suddenly asking so many questions and why is he making that weird face? At that exact moment, Lucas suddenly starts vomiting everywhere. Laughing, Master Fei yells that he knew it. The kid couldn't handle his first time. This kind of work is not easy. Lucas thinks, what kind of teacher is this? He is actually happy seeing his own students suffer. Master Fei points out he is already vomiting. Let him tell you this kid's future is going to be very tough. The next morning, Lucas and Master Fei return home. Master Fei mentions he worked hard all night. Here, have some hot dumplings. Lucas thinks to himself this old man made him work so hard, but he actually seems like a pretty good person even taking care of him. Master Fei asks why he is staring. Eat quickly. Lucas speaks up, Master, he noticed something. He speaks very politely to Uncle Wuju. Is that fear or respect? Master Fei quickly replies, what does he mean? Lucas asks if Uncle Wuju is really that strong, and Master Fei sighs. Looks like he has to explain everything. In this world, fighters are split into 9 distinct tiers, but above that sit the 4 great masters. These guys have hit the absolute peak of power totally unmatched. First up is Nanking's Ye Liu Yun. The guy has never lost a duel. Second is Kuhi Northern Chi's national master and an absolute global powerhouse. Third is Dongyi City's lord, a man who can defend an entire city solo. Fourth is the Nanking Palace Guardian. He fought all 3 of them and never took a single loss. Then comes Uncle Wuju, the 5th greatest master alive. If these 5 were not absolute beasts, the entire world would not be trembling. Lucas replies, he never imagined Uncle Wuju being that insane. The cultivation method Wuju gave him must be completely off the charts. Master Fei nods in agreement. The energy inside the kid is overwhelmingly dominant. Lucas just flashes a huge grin. As Wuju's disciple, he refuses to be ordinary and plans to match his power, but Master Fei gets deadly serious. He warns the boy that his energy has grown way too fast in such a short time, a huge red flag. A bit worried, Lucas asks if something is wrong. Fei just tells him to keep practicing and control the flow. He wants to see exactly how strong that power is. Lucas nods, all right, here we go. Fei tells him to release it fully, bragging that a child's energy could never possibly hurt a veteran like him. Lucas, let's go. The energy surges violently outward, overflowing with insane pressure. He opens his eyes and asks a question. Did his teacher feel it? But wait, Master Fei is completely gone. That burst of energy literally blew the man away. Rushing over, Lucas asks if his teacher is okay or hurt again. Covered in dirt, a completely stunned Fei asks, where does a 4-year-old get that kind of terrifying power? Lucas rubs his head shyly. Please stop praising me. Fei snaps back, not a compliment. Keep this up and he will literally just explode. Fei uses a glass jar as an example. Fill it with a normal amount of liquid and everything is fine. But if it overfills, the glass shatters. Lucas is in that exact same dangerous condition right now. Panicking, the kid asks, then how do they fix it? Fei admits things look pretty awful, but right on cue, Uncle Wuju walks in, calling both master and student complete idiots. Startled, Fei asks when Wuju even got there. Lucas chimes in, saying Wuju's technique turned out to be wildly powerful. Wuju quickly corrects him. He did not give him that manual, Lucas's own mother left it behind. Curious, Lucas asks for the title. Wuju tells him it is called Domineering True Chi. Lucas just frowns. He might be young, but he is not stupid. The book is definitely nameless, and only Wuju would make up a title that incredibly ridiculous. Getting back on track, Fei admits he is terrified. The young master has too much power, so Wuju must have a suppression technique, right? Wuju just shakes his head. He does not know any method like that. Fei stares in absolute shock. How could he? Wuju casually admits he has never once practiced energy cultivation in his life. Both of them freeze. How is that even possible? I mean, we are all wondering it. How is he so overwhelmingly strong, Fei realizes. This guy relies entirely on his pure physical body. No wonder the whole world calls Uncle Wuju the absolute strongest master alive. Nobody else could ever reach that tier unassisted. Breaking the silence, Wuju tells Lucas to relax. He will not explode. Hugely relieved, Fei knew Wuju would have a fix. Lucas flashes a smile, calling his uncle totally amazing. But Wuju shakes his head. Nope. If the kid actually wants to survive, he has to stop cultivating completely for now. Fei wonders how the boy will ever get strong like this. Later, he drags Lucas straight into the deep woods. Pointing at a very bizarre mushroom, Fei orders him to eat it. Lucas squints at it. That looks incredibly weird. Over the next 12 months, poor Lucas ends up tasting nearly every single plant in the forest. Thanks to Fei's completely brutal training methods, Lucas actually becomes an absolute master at using poison. Without his teacher around, the kid would have died 100 times over exactly 1 year later. Fei admits Lucas has learned absolutely everything. Lucas nods, yep, and the old man definitely took plenty of revenge on him too. With a weaker will to live, he would have been dead ages ago. Fei just laughs. What matters is the massive improvement. He tells the kid to forget all the suffering. Now that the training is finally done, it is time for a real goodbye. Lucas softly asks if he is heading back to the capital. Fei nods, his student's progress is already fully reported. He must return within 2 weeks. A heavy silence drops between them. Lucas mutters quietly, so this is it. Your last month here, he notes. Master Fei just smiles, says he still has some unfinished business. He refuses to leave before settling it. Lucas mutters back, you have been settling scores with me all year. Suddenly, blood starts dripping from Lucas's nose. Master Fei stays totally calm, tells him not to get excited. The master poisoned him again. Any delay means death. They quickly rush out to the courtyard. Master Fei lays down the rules. Figure out the poison based on the symptoms. Succeed, and he officially becomes a true poison master. Lucas analyzes the feeling, a bitter taste. Definitely mixed with traditional medicine. Master Fei lines up a few bottles right in front of him. One of them is the antidote. He says, find it. Lucas starts sniffing every single bottle. Not this one, not the next either. Finally, he grabs one. This is the one. Master Fei tells him to drink it if he is so sure. As Lucas chugs it, the master quietly pops open an umbrella. Did he choose the right one, Lucas asks? Out of nowhere, a massive nosebleed erupts. Master Fei sighs. He only told him to check. He never actually said the antidote was in the lineup. Lucas groans seriously. What kind of teacher pulls this on a kid? The master smirks. One last chance he offers. Poison him. Pull that off and he gets the official master title. Lucas just thinks to himself. Just wait, I will show you. Fast forward a few days. Master Fei is relaxing with a drink when Lucas brings over some food. Here is your meal, master. Master Fei chuckles, quite punctual these days, huh? Do not tell him he is actually sad about the departure. Lucas stays completely calm, just doing his basic disciple duties. Please enjoy the meal, it is prepared perfectly. Master Fei agrees to keep the food, but tells him to take the liquor away. Lucas freezes, asking how he figured it out. Master Fei laughs. He is still just a kid, so poisoning a veteran is straight up impossible. Hook, line, and sinker, now watch the payback unfold. A few days pass, and suddenly Master Fei gets a heavy nosebleed. Lucas smiles wide and declares victory. Utterly shocked, Master Fei demands to know what kind of poison was used. He is totally certain he did not make a single mistake. Lucas happily explains the poison he used is simply called time. Over the last few days, he fed him like clockwork. Every meal cooked in heavily refined oil, the soups packed with crazy amounts of spice. He ate massive portions of rich spicy food without doing a single bit of physical exercise. Toxins slowly built up inside his system, poisoning him through pure patience. Impressed, Master Fei declares that, looking ahead to the future, the kid is going to invent entirely new methods and push poison mastery to a whole different level. Lucas eagerly asks the big question. Does this mean he is officially a poison master now? Nodding proudly, Master Fei confirms it. Yes, he absolutely is. Lucas is absolutely over the moon, a legit poison master at only 5 years old, shortly after the two arrive at the forest edge. Master Fei sighs time to finally part ways. He really enjoyed this past year together. Lucas looks up and replies. Growing up, Uncle Wuju was the single person he could actually trust. Master Fei nods along the man definitely earned that trust. But now Lucas adds he found a second person he trusts just as much. His teacher, Master Fei. Please do not forget me or this place. Master Fei gives a faint smile. Forgetting him would be pretty much impossible. Then he tosses Lucas a wooden name tag, telling him to keep it safe. It will definitely come in handy someday. The dean sent it over. Lucas inspects it closely. It says secretary is that even an important rank. Master Fei explains that the tag actually belonged to his mother first. That is why he gets it now. Lucas then mentions he actually crafted a gift for his master. A pair of medical gloves woven from special silk. He asks him to please use them for any dangerous experiments in the future. Master Fei warmly thanks the kid, calling the work truly impressive. Staring down at Lucas, a quiet thought hits him. If only they met earlier. Maybe he could have had a family too. As Master Fei finally leaves, Lucas shouts out. He promises to come find him in the capital someday. Master Fei chuckles to himself. Everything was going so perfectly well. But what exactly did the kid mean by that? Later on, Lucas finds Uncle Wuju and casually asks if he avoids drinking orange juice. He brought a glass just for him. If the old man refuses, he is going to chug it himself. Uncle Wuju smoothly replies, orange juice like that is really bad for kids. Lucas pivots. Uncle, he has a ton of questions to ask him. 5 years together, and get this, the guy's appearance literally has not changed a single bit. Master Fei also mentioned he is a ridiculously powerful martial artist, literally the 5th great master in the entire world. And what kind of person was his mother anyway? Plus, why the juice ban? Before he can even finish the sentence, Lucas collapses. By the next morning, Uncle Wuju notes he is finally awake. Lucas groans weakly. He feels incredibly strange. It feels like his body is literally tearing apart from the inside. Uncle Wuju sighs. He drank way too much orange juice last night. That completely messed up his internal energy flow. Lucas fires back. The old man gave him that cultivation manual, so now he has to teach him energy control. Uncle Wuju just replies he already told him no. He already knows how. Lucas says he remembers everything clearly, so what exactly is the next step? Uncle Wuju nods. Fine, he has a solution. I am going to attack you. Lucas blinks, and Wuju adds, completely deadpan you run. Lucas instantly complains. Why are all masters exactly like this? Why do they enjoy bullying him? Wuju explains there is way too much energy trapped in his body. He has to burn it off or his organs will eventually fail. Wuju tells him to channel that energy straight into his legs to sprint faster. And with that, Uncle Wuju just dashes forward. "Wait for me," Lucas shouts out, sprinting right after him. Using his energy, Lucas realizes he can sprint way faster. At this crazy pace, there is no chance Uncle Wuju will ever be able to catch him. But suddenly, Wuju strikes him hard, sending the kid flying into the water. Lucas angrily protests that was a total sneak attack. Wuju says speed alone is never enough. His eyesight and reaction time must seriously improve. Only then will he actually stop getting hurt. Lucas smirks. "If that is the case, Uncle, this is going to get pretty difficult for you." He dashes away again with Wuju hot on his heels. Lucas figures if he can cross that massive cliff, there is no way his uncle can catch him. He takes a massive leap off the edge. He used absolute full strength, so no matter what, Uncle Wuju cannot possibly reach him now. But out of nowhere, Wuju appears directly above him and kicks him straight down into the dirt, practically crying. Lucas whines about why this always happens to him. Master Fei left barely a day ago, and he somehow already has a much more terrifying teacher. Uncle Wuju calmly offers a deal. If the kid can land just one single hit or even brush his clothes, he will completely admit defeat. At that point, he will be considered officially qualified. Lucas grins, thinking that sounds incredibly easy. His punches are seriously powerful. He might miss the body, but grazing the fabric should be a total breeze. Yet a split second later, he crashes headfirst into a solid wall. From that day forward, Lucas trains with Uncle Wuju every single day. 1 year passes and then 10. Now Lucas is a 16-year-old teenager. Yet despite growing a lot stronger, one thing never changed. He is still getting absolutely wrecked by Uncle Wuju. One afternoon, hiding in the bushes, Lucas decides to launch a massive sneak attack. There is no way his uncle can dodge this one. He creeps right behind Uncle Wuju, ready to strike hard. But before he even moves, Wuju punts him away yet again. Groaning in pain, Lucas begs his uncle to finally go easy on his own nephew. Uncle Wuju walks right up to him. "Lucas, you are finally qualified." Lucas is confused, pointing out he has never once managed to touch him. But Wuju says he is strong enough now, so their training ends here. Later at home, Gwen mentions how insanely powerful Wuju's attacks are. The young master still cannot even hope to match him. Lucas admits he used to think exactly that. But after grinding every single day, he is fully confident he will eventually reach that exact same level. His uncle beats him up just so his eyesight and reaction speed stay incredibly sharp. That way, absolutely no one else will ever be able to harm him. Honestly, those harsh beatings are actually good for him. Gwen just stares silently, thinking the young master must have hit his head really hard. Why else would he say getting beaten half to death is a positive thing? But Lucas adds that his uncle called their current training absolutely nothing. The true danger will only begin the second those red-clothed guards finally arrive. Gwen is lost. Real danger, red-clothed guards. Lucas cuts her off all right enough. Taki still needs to get more training done today. Gwen asks what he means. Lucas just smiles faintly, saying it is nothing. He will tell her a completely new story today. Watch how fast the pacing shifts here. The next day, Lucas is practicing in the courtyard when he suddenly notices a huge group approaching on horseback. Just from the sound alone, he can tell they are a highly trained army. As soon as Lucas steps outside the gates, he completely freezes. Standing right in front of him are the infamous red-clothed guards. They have finally arrived. Every single guard immediately drops to one knee. By the strict orders of Lord Earl, they have officially come to escort young Master Lucas away. Lucas realizes this means he actually has to go to the capital now. He rushes straight over to his grandmother, warning her that people are here to take him away. She nods, saying she already knows. They actually showed up before when he was not around, but she completely refused their request. He is not going anywhere at all. The capital is incredibly dangerous. His mother died right after traveling there. If she had just stayed away, she would have lived a much longer life. But Lucas points out they are all kneeling outside, aggressively insisting that he has to go. Grandma replies coldly, if they want to kneel, let them. Even if they die out there, just bury their bodies. Lucas realizes Grandma is incredibly dominant. He simply sighs, telling her all right, he will go. Right then, she accidentally slices through the fabric she was holding. She mutters heavily that everything is ruined now, both the cloth and their lives. Lucas immediately heads over to find Uncle Wuju. He has a deadly serious question, and only his master can actually give him the truth. Wuju already knows. He guesses Lucas is wondering whether to go to the capital or not. Startled, Lucas asks how he knew and why they even want him there. He admits he wants to go, but he is terrified. If his mother died in the capital, does that mean someone over there might try to kill him too? Wuju replies with total calm. Do not worry, child, he will go with him. Lucas asks what he means. Uncle Wuju says he will head to the capital with him. Relieved, Lucas just nods. But there is one more question. How does Wuju look exactly the same as years ago? Wuju goes completely silent. Later at dinner, Lucas asks if Grandma has eaten yet. The butler says no, she is busy reading a book. Lucas says fine, he will start eating. He tastes a tiny portion of every dish, then grabs the bamboo chopsticks. He says he will finish in his room. The butler complains that he barely ate. What about the leftover food? Lucas tells him to distribute it just like always. The butler mutters bitterly, so many years have passed. Yet this kid still cannot eat a proper meal. How was he ever born into such a prestigious noble family? A maid whispers back. By tradition, the master eats first and the staff gets whatever food is left over. But the young master tastes every dish first so the staff gets plenty to eat. He seems arrogant but acts kind. The butler scoffs. He still has no clue what the old lady sees in Lucas. He never liked the boy. Walking through the corridor, Gwen points out that something feels off. Lucas agrees, yes, the food was definitely poisoned. Gwen panics. Poisoned Lucas explains the poison was coated right onto those bamboo chopsticks. That is exactly why he tastes a bit of every dish. He has to make sure it is totally safe. A lucky habit, or everyone might have died today. Pulling a special powder from his desk, he swallows it, forcing himself to violently throw up everything he just ate. Panicking, Gwen asks if the young master is all right. Lucas stays calm. The poison was pretty weak, not enough to actually kill someone easily. It is called cat button. Overwatch Council members use it all the time. It comes from a specific fruit grown exclusively on Savage Island. The juice blends right into food totally unnoticed. It weakens the body so the target is easier to kill later. Had he gone to sleep after eating, he absolutely would have died. The poison has a faintly bitter taste, meaning whoever poisoned him is highly skilled. They masked the flavor perfectly. Then Lucas asks a question. He asks Gwen where those bamboo chopsticks came from. She says Laho's nephew delivered them earlier today. Lucas frowns. Laho always delivers the food himself. Where did this mysterious nephew suddenly come from? Gwen explains Laho was sick, so the nephew came instead. Is something wrong? Lucas thinks fast. He knows Laho well. The man has no nephew. That guy must be the assassin. He poisoned Lucas but delayed the actual kill. What is his endgame here? Gwen asks anxiously where the young master is going. Is he fully recovered? Lucas says he is perfectly fine, just heading out for a bit. Gwen begs to come along. He shakes his head. It could get dangerous out there. She needs to stay. He knows exactly where to look. He refuses to let the assassin slip away. He will handle this personally. Lucas rushes straight toward Laho's house. Arriving at the spot, he finds Laho tied up tightly. Someone clearly restrained the man. The assassin spared his life. Time to see who this attacker really is. Untying Laho. Lucas asks who did this. Laho spots him, young master. He screams, he knows nothing, then suddenly yells out behind you. An assassin strikes from the shadows. Lucas reacts instantly, striking back and knocking the attacker away. He asks coldly, so you are the one who poisoned me? The assassin admits it. His name is Tang Saijing. Tang immediately moves forward to close the distance. He readies another strike, but Lucas raises a hand. Wait a second. He orders Laho to stand back to avoid injury. Lucas announces he is finally ready to fight. Tang sneers back. Just an ordinary human who is about to die. Tang launches several kunai, but Lucas blocks them with clean, precise movements. Then Lucas rushes in for a counterattack. Tang dodges, unleashing even more hidden weapons. Weaving through the blades, Lucas mocks him for hoarding so many weapons. Tang swears he will not stop until Lucas is dead. Up on a nearby rooftop, Uncle Wuju silently watches the clash. The two fighters seem evenly matched until they clash head-on. Lucas notices the assassin's dagger is coated in poison. Tang gloats that Lucas has already lost, young yet incredibly strong for his age. Had he survived, he would have become a true master. That food poison already severely weakened his body. And the dagger poison will finish the job. Lucas frowns, complaining that it is totally unfair. Tang replies coldly, he is an assassin. Right and wrong mean absolutely nothing here. His job is killing, and he will do whatever it takes. Suddenly, Lucas bursts out laughing. Tang demands to know what is so funny, but watch closely, blood streams down Tang's nose. He collapses to the dirt. Shocked Tang asks if Lucas poisoned his own blade. Lucas reveals he built an immunity since childhood. Ordinary poison does nothing to him. If you want to play dirty, fine. To kill him, it takes way more than that. Lucas presses his weapon right against Tang's throat and demands to know who sent him. Why the tiny dose of poison in his food? Lucas knows it wouldn't kill him. Tang answers honestly. He came for an assassination but didn't want innocent bystanders getting caught in the crossfire. Lucas points out the irony. An assassin with morals! That is pretty rare. Lucas asks again who put out the hit. Tang admits the truth. He was sent here to eliminate a traitor. Lucas is totally stunned. A traitor him. Even if this fails, Lucas is a dead man anyway. The Inspection Institute does not let their targets live. Nobody escapes them, not even the gods. But Lucas drops a bomb. Their 3rd Division leader was his teacher. Tang is completely caught off guard. His boss, Lucas, explains he is only 16 and his mother died giving birth. He is just an illegitimate son who has never met his father or even stepped foot outside this city. How could a sheltered kid possibly be a traitor? Tang pauses, realizing the math really does not add up here. Lucas tells him he messed up big time. He came swinging without checking the facts first. Tang just nods. It clicks, someone framed Lucas and wants him buried. As Lucas turns to walk away, Tang yells out, "Is he just going to walk off? No finishing blow?" Lucas casually says it was just a misunderstanding, so why bother? Tang warns him that sparing his life will not stop the client from sending more killers. Lucas stays totally calm. The guy is free to go. His next move is his problem, but Lucas asks one final question. Mansion security is tight. Nobody just walks in. Who opened the door? Tang gives up the rat, the family butler. Honestly, you cannot trust the staff anymore. Lucas heads home, ties the guy up, and listens to his pathetic sobbing. The butler claims he pushed Lucas outside to protect the rest of the household. just a loyal servant doing his job right. Grandma is not buying it. She coldly asks if this was really for the Fung family. Classic stepmom behavior, he was following orders from the father's second wife to stop Lucas from claiming his inheritance. The kid is too talented and might take everything, so killing him was just good business. Grandma stands up completely unbothered. She tells Lucas his biggest flaw is being too soft. He asks if she actually believes him. He might be grown, she says, but he still has not learned the most important lesson, how to be absolutely ruthless. The butler agrees. He yells that Lucas needs to die to keep everyone else safe. Grandma just looks at him coldly. Break his legs, toss him on a dinghy, and send him out to sea. Let him die slowly in the open water. The butler begs for his life. He screams that he did it for the family, claiming she hates Lucas just as much. He accuses her of faking it. Ignoring him, Grandma turns and asks Lucas for his next move. The second lady already sent killers. Once he hits the capital, he is going to remember her hospitality and repay it with interest. Grandma offers to send a letter to his dad to investigate, but Lucas shakes his head. Not a chance. His father cannot fix this. If things are going to get messy, he will handle it himself. Grandma gives him a serious look. So he is really going to the capital. He could stay hidden in Tianju forever, live a safe, quiet life. But he is older now. He refuses to rot at home forever when there is an entire world out there to explore. Besides, the assassins are already knocking. Today was just wave 1, and honestly, the traitorous butler made one valid point. He cannot let the family suffer for his existence. Grandma asks if he is sure, and he stands firm. Yes, he is marching straight into the capital. Grandma sighs, warning him about the massive family drama ahead. Plus, his late mother left a lot of messy business unfinished. She then asks about his exact departure time. First thing tomorrow morning. Grandma softly tells him not to visit her before he goes. She is too old for goodbyes. She still regrets the last goodbye she gave his mother, and she refuses to put herself through that exact heartbreak twice. Watch this genius play. Lucas visits Tang, and the assassin immediately begs for a favor: kill him. Lucas is baffled. Kill him, or does he mean fake his death so he can wipe his identity and live normally? Tang nods. Exactly that. He still has business to finish. Lucas naturally asks what is in it for him. Does he not want to know how the second lady pulled the strings to organize this exact hit? Lucas fires back. Stop with the riddles. Tang explains the plan: play dead, then investigate the entire conspiracy from the shadows. Working off the grid, they can finally uncover the real rot hiding inside his family. Lucas thinks it over and admits it is a pretty solid idea. Deal. They are officially teaming up. The scene shifts. Lucas walks right up to Uncle Wuju. I am heading to the capital. Wuju stays totally calm, telling him to go ahead. Lucas admits since childhood his uncle always protected him, but he has never actually seen Wuju do a single thing for himself. No desires, no personal attachments, absolutely no plans for his own life. Wuju asks if the kid no longer needs him. Lucas quickly panics. No, that is definitely not it. He will always need him. Wuju is the closest family he has. If he leaves, what exactly is Lucas supposed to do? Wuju just asks why he's bringing this up. Tomorrow, Lucas leaves for the capital to find out who wants him dead and exactly who murdered his mother. But more importantly, he wants Wuju to actually live for himself for once. Hearing this, his uncle just stays completely quiet. Turning to leave, Lucas bids him a quick farewell. After a long pause, Wuju quietly mutters to himself. There really is something he wants to do for himself. Later on, Lucas is packing up when Wuju approaches him. He tells Lucas he finally realized what he wants to do and hands over a heavy iron box. This is the very last thing his mother left behind, and Wuju wants him to open it. Apparently, his mother gave Wuju that exact same speech once. She also wanted him to live for himself. Lucas stares at the gift, asking how on earth he is supposed to open it. Wuju bluntly says it is simple, you need a key. Lucas asks for it, but his uncle just shakes his head. He does not have it. Lucas tells him to just break it with brute strength, so Wuju unleashes his full power and smashes the box. The table completely shatters underneath, but the box does not even have a scratch. Shocked. Lucas points out even those attacks failed and asks where the key is. Wuju guesses it is probably sitting somewhere in the capital. That is exactly why he is tagging along. Lucas smiles, glad they are heading out together tomorrow. But Wuju says he will leave first and meet up later. When Lucas asks what to do with the box, his uncle says that is entirely up to him. Lucas just stares at it. What is this thing even made of if Wuju cannot scratch it? Whatever is inside has to be crazy dangerous. By the next morning, the red guards are locked in and Lucas finally steps outside. Grandma watches him go quietly, thinking the boy has way too many questions nobody here can answer. He really has to go. Suddenly, Lucas pops up. Grandma scolds him, saying she told him not to come see her off, but he just gently kisses her forehead. She asks what on earth he is doing. Lucas smiles softly, telling her to take care. Once he learns the truth, he promises to come right back for her. Then they can live together in the capital just like old times. He gives a deep, respectful bow. Grandma dismisses him warmly, and Lucas finally turns toward the red guards. He announces he is officially ready. As they start moving out, Gwen holds back tears, begging her master to stay safe. Lucas tells her not to worry, everything is going to be perfectly fine. Tang chimes in, noting how much the maid clearly cares. He asks why Lucas did not just bring her along. Lucas admits he knows absolutely nothing about this capital. If he brings Gwen into some random danger out there, he could seriously never forgive himself. He silently promises to come back for both Gwen and Grandma when the time is right. Later that evening, the caravan finally halts. The Red Guard suggests they stop for some food. Lucas turns to Tang, asking why this guy is constantly hovering like some overpaid servant. After a meal, Lucas asks if Tang knows why his father actually summoned him. Tang laughs, isn't it completely obvious by now? It is clearly to prep him for the future. Lucas points out they are totally alone here, so why keep hiding the real reason? Tang smirks, calling the young master pretty terrible at this game. Lucas frowns, nobody is joking here. Tang coughs, lightly dropping the bomb his father arranged a marriage for him. That is the whole reason he is going to the capital. Now watch this reaction. Lucas is totally stunned marriage to who Tang reveals it is the daughter of Prime Minister Lin Rofu. Lucas is completely baffled. The Prime Minister's daughter wants to marry him. That is just weird. Tang explains the Lin family holds massive power in the capital, but the girl is incredibly sick. Her family just wants to marry her off quickly. Lucas nods now, the sudden arrangement makes perfect sense. She might not even have many years left to live. Tang asks if that pisses him off, but Lucas stays calm, absolutely nothing to be mad about. He actually feels pretty bad for her. Just because she is sick, she gets forced to marry a total stranger. Tang immediately goes dead silent. Lucas asks what is wrong. Why stop talking? Tang just smiles, saying the kid is totally different today. Lucas lays it out. First, going to the capital does not mean he will actually accept this marriage. Second, if he does accept it, he really does not hate the idea. Third, sick or not, he refuses to treat this marriage as a joke. And finally, Tang might not know this, but Lucas is not just good with poison, he is a genius doctor. Tang replies, if that is true, try healing her then. The Imperial doctors completely failed, so let us see what you can actually pull off. Lucas fires back, if you are playing the servant, at least act the part. He wonders to himself what she actually looks like. Fast forward 2 months, their caravan hits the city gates and the driver announces that the capital is straight ahead. Staring out, Lucas calls it absolutely incredible. Tang asks him what his deal is, but Lucas just brushes it off. He never pictured it looking quite like this. Tang completely agrees. Compared to Tenju, this place is on another level. This world is getting interesting, Lucas thinks. Meanwhile, a spy delivers a report to the second lady. The assassination completely failed, and the boy named Lucas has reached the capital. The second lady smirks. She never expected him to be this amusing. Let us just see how this plays out. Soon enough, Lucas arrives outside a massive mansion blown away by its size. A maid quickly informs him that their lord is out. He will just have to wait until the master returns. The lord left strict orders to take good care of him, so he can just ask if he needs anything. Lucas agrees. It seems his father is quite interested in him. Walking inside, Lucas takes a good look around, noting how crazy expensive this capital is. Every single inch of land holds serious value, yet this mansion is absolutely massive. His father must hold some insanely high position. But walking further in, he notices something super weird. The maids look totally terrified and actively avoid his gaze. Everyone he passes is keeping their distance. He wonders if it is just because he is the illegitimate kid. Not that he cares. If anyone should feel ashamed about this setup, it is his father, not him. A maid tells him to wash his hands and then go meet the second lady. Lucas nods, he will be right there. When he washes his face, one maid looks completely shocked. Another quickly steps up, asking the young master to follow her. She leads him straight to the second lady. Lucas finally gets it now. This massive capital is absolutely nothing like Tenju. Just showing basic manners to the staff totally shocks them. With that settled, Lucas steps right up to meet his aunt. The maid asks the young master to wait there for just a moment. Then she heads straight into the main hall alone. She left him waiting outside instead of bringing him in, so Lucas just stands there and a whole lot of time passes by. He knows they are making him wait on purpose just to rub his illegitimate status right in his face. Now watch how he handles this. If they want to play games, he is a better player. Lucas calmly drags over a chair and sits down. The maids immediately start whispering. They call him arrogant for daring to sit on a chair right outside the second lady's personal hall. Lucas casually mentions how comfortable the chair is. Another maid nervously speaks up, warning him about a strict family rule. If the second lady sees this, she is going to lose her mind. Speak of the devil, Ruoyu arrives. Walking right up to him, she casually mentions he could have rested if he was tired. Lucas stares back calmly, flashing a smile and greeting his aunt. They soon head inside the main hall together. Ruoyu asks how the old lady in Tenju is doing. She is perfectly fine, Lucas replies. An assassin did attack my house a few days ago, but thankfully everyone survived. Other than that little detail, everything is great. Thanks for your concern. Ruoyu narrows her eyes, realizing this boy is absolutely no fool. Lucas cheerfully adds that he has been doing great lately. Internally, he notes how annoyed she looks just seeing his face. To her, he shouldn't even be alive right now. Ruoyu then brings up his father working in the household affairs department. Now that he is finally in the capital, does he want to prep for the imperial exams or just ask for a direct position? Lucas plays it safe, claiming he will just do whatever his father decides. Being new to family matters, he cannot really say much yet. When will father be back anyway? Ruoyu promises he will return soon. A brief awkward silence hangs in the air while tea is prepared. Suddenly, heavy footsteps approach. A maid chases after someone, begging the young miss to stop running. The door flies open as Roya bursts inside, thrilled her brother is finally here. She steps up formally, greeting her older sibling. Lucas tells Roya to drop the formalities, but right on cue, a chubby kid waltzes into the room. Meet Feng Shigye. Shiggy barks out, "Are you Lucas?" Lucas just asks Roya who this kid is. Before she even speaks, the boy proudly announces himself as Feng Shigye, the young master of the Feng family. He calls Lucas a bastard child and their father's biggest mistake. Meanwhile, the second lady quietly slips out of the room. Lucas gets it now. She sent this brat to humiliate him. Shigye just keeps mocking how incredibly weak Lucas looks. An absolute disgrace, the kid adds. Lucas realizes he might actually have to teach this brat a lesson for the family's sake. Otherwise, he is going to ruin everything. But suddenly, Roya whips out a stick. "Hold out your hands," she orders. Shigye panics, "Sister, what are you doing?" "What are you doing?" Roya orders him to put his hands out. Shigye reluctantly obeys and she smacks his palm with a stick. He cries out, asking why his own sister is hitting him over an outsider. Roya strikes him again. That is mistake number 1. You called your elder brother by his first name. Second, you need to remember your family name and how you treat your absolute elders. "'Cause trouble again and the punishment gets much worse." She glances over, "Brother, I am right about this, am I not?" Lucas nods in agreement. Shiggy immediately runs off in tears. Roya just sighs. The kid always goes crying straight to his mother. He asks if the kid is always like this. Roya shrugs. He is completely spoiled and it is far too late to fix him. Sighing internally, Lucas wonders why he got stuck with such a useless younger brother. Then he leans in. "Roya, tell me something. How exactly can you punish a young master so freely?" Roya smiles back. "Father personally handed me the authority." Lucas admits things here are pretty different from what he originally expected. Roya tilts her head, meaning the basic household matters. "No," Lucas clarifies, he means the actual distribution of power within the family. Roya agrees she holds quite a bit of weight around here. But Lucas points out her authority relies entirely on a single person. Roya nods calmly. "Yes, the person you mean is our father." A brief silence falls between them before they both smile. Roya mentions they have been exchanging letters pretty regularly. Yet it has been incredibly long since they actually sat down to talk. Lucas smiles warmly. He is genuinely glad to see her doing well. Otherwise, he spent way too much time worrying about how she was surviving capital life. Roya bows her head. "Thanks for the advice, brother. Without it, this family would not be nearly as peaceful." Lucas chuckles internally. He literally just fed her storylines from random soap operas. Turns out classic anime logic really works. He leans back. Even isolated out in Tenju, he still knew one clear fact. The second lady Ryu holds serious power over this entire family. No matter what goes down, never get on her bad side. Roya nods in agreement. Lucas then shifts the topic. Did she get his last letter? She confirms receiving it, but the courier showed up dressed entirely in black and it frankly scared the life out of her at first. Believing the guy was dangerous, she panicked. Lucas smirks. She probably has no idea why he really traveled to the capital. Roya counters instantly. She knows. Lucas blinks in genuine surprise, but Roya adds that the entire family already knows his secret. Stunned, Lucas asked how everyone knows except him. He always assumed his arrival was a strictly guarded secret only their father knew. Roya explains that every famous noble family in the capital is actively watching him. Lucas frowns. Barely anyone in this city even knows he exists. So why all the sudden attention? Roya answers plainly, because the girl he is arranged to marry is incredibly famous. Lucas nods, admitting she makes a fair point. He is supposed to tie the knot with the Prime Minister's own daughter. It is absolutely no small matter. Roya adds a grim detail. The girl is also seriously ill. Here is the context you need. For 10 solid years, this kingdom enjoyed real stability under a historically wise emperor. The bureaucracy, however, is completely rotten. Nothing moves without a bribe, and Prime Minister Lin Rufu is especially cunning. Lin Rufu was born dirt poor, completely lacking any noble family backing or fancy bloodline. But through sheer brainpower and cutthroat strategy, he clawed his way to the absolute top incredibly fast. On the surface, he plays the perfect gentleman, but the hidden reality is far darker. Piecing it together, Lucas realizes Miss Lin is illegitimate, making her the Prime Minister's weakness. Roya confirms. The weird thing is, news of her illegitimate status already leaked earlier. Lucas raises an eyebrow. It leaked already. Was it the guy sitting on the dragon throne? Roya explains that after the rumor initially broke, everyone assumed the Prime Minister had seriously angered the king, forcing his dirty laundry out into the open. But then the Emperor personally stepped in, forcefully burying the scandal and shutting everybody up. Yet his reaction is unexpected. Even learning his arranged bride is illegitimate, Lucas does not look remotely angry. Lucas stays perfectly calm. He refuses to show weakness by reacting emotionally to the news. He simply wants to ask his father why he arranged a marriage with someone like her. Right on cue, a guard outside announces the Lord has arrived. Standing up tall, Lucas tells Roya they will catch up later. Right now, he has a rather important meeting. Roya nods obediently. Stepping outside, Lucas finally meets his father, Count Sinon, as a nervous servant quickly introduces the young master. The Count simply orders Lucas to follow. They step into a quiet study room where the older man notes how much Lucas resembles his mother. Lucas plainly agrees. The Count then shifts the focus, asking how his life was over in Tenju. He replies it was totally fine right up until an assassin tried to end him. The Count states he must know why he was summoned. Does he feel unfairly treated? Lucas shoots back firmly. No, the Count is mistaken. He traveled here, sure, but he never once agreed to marry Miss Lin. The The Count just stares, asking if does he understand what this marriage means for their family? Lucas insists he is no fool. He accuses his father of just chasing royal favor. The Count chuckles, glad the boy is finally showing real anger. Lucas frowns and demands answers. His father admits they have never formally met, but he has been keeping a close eye on him. Rumor painted Lucas as someone devoid of anger, but he is only 16 and his father warns him against burying those heavy emotions. Suppressing things only breeds endless pain. Lucas fires right back. His father can try absolutely every trick in the book, but nobody is going to control his life. The Count stays totally calm, claiming he has zero interest in pulling his strings. He simply wants Lucas to marry the Prime Minister's daughter. It would drastically elevate the family status and benefit them all. Lucas holds his ground, refusing to act on orders alone. If his father thinks it is a bluff, he can try forcing it. A brief silence falls. The Count sighs, asking why Lucas will not understand that Miss Lin is a good girl. She is a perfect match. This is not about Lin Rufu, but securing his future. Watching him closely, Lucas thinks he isn't lying. The Count presses on. Does he honestly believe a father would use his own son just to cling to political power? If that is true, Lucas demands to know why he is being shoved into an arranged marriage. The Count finally drops the act. He decides to lay everything bare. Miss Lin's mother is actually the eldest princess, the younger sister of the emperor himself. The princess never officially married, yet she commands all royal commerce. She has funneled massive wealth right into the national treasury, and still controls boundless resources today. Does Lucas finally grasp why this marriage is so vital? It suddenly clicks for Lucas. Prime Minister Lin Rufu must have had a secret affair with the princess to climb the political ladder. A brilliant, cunning move. The Count adds that the princess has just one single daughter. Since the emperor ignores commerce, whoever marries that sickly girl will basically inherit total control over the entire royal fortune. Lucas asks if the business she manages was once part of their own family. His father gives a slow nod. He is dead right. That whole empire originally belonged to Lucas's mother. This marriage is about taking back what is rightfully his. Hearing this, Lucas admits he finally understands. He knows his father isn't plotting anything malicious against him. But can a forced marriage really win back his mother's legacy? The Count answers with absolute confidence. By revealing these secrets, he proves the plans are already in motion. After all, the man is a high-ranking treasury official himself. He knows exactly how to manipulate capital. However, the sly prime minister still has serious doubts about this union. That is exactly why Lucas must prove his worth to society. The boy nods, but points out one glaring issue. Why is Lin Rufu pushing back so hard? The Count explains that their Fang family is already a major powerhouse in the capital. Meanwhile, the prime minister commands the bureaucrats. A direct alliance between the two factions would generate insane benefits for everyone involved. Yet, there is a huge risk the emperor might suspect an uprising. Lucas quickly picks up on the political danger. He figures it out. This marriage is not even confirmed yet. It is completely one-sided, cooked up entirely by the Fang family. The Count frowns, playing dumb for a second before turning dead serious. He warns Lucas that today's conversation stays permanently buried. Knowing royal secrets is a death sentence if they leak. One wrong word and the boy will die for absolutely nothing. Lucas stays cool. He has survived this long by avoiding mistakes, and he values his own neck way too much to get sloppy now. Back in the safety of his own room, Lucas reflects on the meeting. Surprisingly, it feels like his old man actually cares. He lets out a quiet sigh. He can dissect the politics later, but the real question hits him: is he actually marrying someone who is terminally ill? He feels like a massive fraud. Using a girl whose life is already a tragedy just feels morally twisted. Then there is the mystery of the strange box. Where is the key? His mind is racing way too fast for sleep tonight. Wide awake and restless. Down the hall, the Count stares into space, thinking of Qin Mei. Her son turned out exactly like her. Brilliant and confident from a young age. Chen Ping strongly opposed bringing Lucas to the estate, but while that man was away on vacation, the Count made his move and summoned the boy. A powerful ally guaranteed that the stolen family property will return to Lucas, right where it belongs. Every single asset his mother earned is his birthright, leaving the Count with zero reasons to worry. And here is the wild part: nobody in this entire nation can kill Lucas. The next morning, Roya hands him a quick snack. She playfully tells him to try a bite. Lucas tastes it, wincing at the intense sour flavor. Nearby, CJ watches them, having no idea what is happening. His sister is infamous for acting freezing cold and distant around most people. Yet with Lucas, she is acting weirdly friendly. Does this guy have some sort of secret power that totally flipped her personality? CJ mutters that he only brought him along to tour the city for his sister's sake. Lucas just asks why the kid is even tailing them. CJ snaps back. He is not a kid. He proudly claims he is the Fang family's most outstanding young master. Lucas just smirks. Then why look so terrified? Worried I might just seize your entire family fortune and leave you with absolute zero. CJ immediately whines to his sister about the bullying, but Roya stays calm. She points out Lucas is not entirely wrong. Walking further, CJ suddenly catches a whiff of something delicious. He insists there is a restaurant nearby and they need to look. A guard points ahead. There is a nice spot right up the street for a comfortable meal. CJ sprints forward, completely starving. Right then, an old lady approaches Lucas. She calls him a smart young man and asks if he wants to buy books. Totally unpublished, completely fresh copies. Lucas gets curious. He asks if they are foreign stories or some brand new manhwa. The lady has no clue what he means. She just brags that this excellent novel is taking the capital by storm. Buy it fast. Lucas checks the title and totally freezes. Check this out, Magic Emperor. This is the exact same story he told Roya back when they were kids. How on earth did it get here? He instantly flips it open and starts reading. The old woman smiles, promising that the story only gets better. The further he reads, the more hooked he will be. Lucas pays up and takes the copy. Inside, Roya asks what he was doing out there. CJ chimes in he saw him buying a book. Roya looks surprised, but Lucas just asks her a question. Does she remember that childhood story he used to tell her, Magic Emperor? She nods, remembering perfectly. Then Lucas just shows her the cover. Shock hits her instantly. She swears she is reading this for the first time. Who copied it? Lucas calmly tells her to relax. He is not blaming her at all. He only told her those tales so she could flex on her friends. He never imagined someone would actually publish and sell them. Roya guesses Princess Roja might be the culprit. The princess saw his handwritten copy during a visit. But Roya never expected her to secretly publish it and make it a massive capital-wide hit. From the palace straight to the streets, someone definitely pushed this hard behind the scenes. Suddenly, CJ jumps in. Did Lucas actually write this? Lucas says, yeah, wondering if there is a problem. CJ gets super hyped. Magic Emperor is really his work. Lucas smirks, guessing the kid read it. CJ quickly backpedals. He claims he only skimmed it, but admits it was pretty amazing. Lucas teases him just a skim or a full read. CJ insists he only looked because the poems were so incredibly good. Laughing, Lucas notes that based on this fanboy reaction, the kid is finally accepting him as his elder brother. CJ points out the massive money potential here. He finally gets why his sister looks up to Lucas so much. Lucas gives a faint smile. So she only admires his earning power and not the fact that his actual writing is incredible. CJ pitches a plan to sell the book in volumes. Every single volume could rake in 8 silver taels. And since Lucas is the only person alive who knows the ending, they can make an absolute fortune continuing it. If he writes CJ promises full backing, all. Lucas ponders this. He and CJ are total opposites who barely get along, plus Lucas knows absolutely nothing about the Fang family business. He is not even interested. His own family is so powerful they could easily crush the Fang business as direct rivals. But hey, they are still brothers. Getting along with this kid now might save them a huge headache down the road. Time to test his skills. Lucas shifts gears asking why CJ really decided to tag along today. CJ admits his mom called his big brother extremely capable. Sticking close to Lucas is just a smart career move. Lucas sees right through it. Playing the obedient kid purely for cash pretty sneaky. CJ is buzzing, ready to team up and get rich together. With business settled, they finally dig into their meal. Roya slams a hand down angrily, declaring the publisher is an absolute jerk. The original story was brilliant, but they slapped highly inappropriate images right on the front page for cheap views. Totally unacceptable. Lucas just shrugs calmly. That is literally just how the marketing game works in reality. People always judge a book by its cover. He knows she is just mad they plastered girls everywhere to fake a cheap romance vibe, right? Except it is pure action. Roya nods hard. They even printed ridiculous buzzwords that totally ruin the plot's core integrity. Not being able to stop it is what drives her crazy. Lucas tells her to chill. Booksellers gotta hustle to survive. Then an idea hits him. With 10 volumes out, he can just write the next few chapters and print them himself. He will give every single chapter a crazy clickbait title no one can possibly ignore. Like naming chapter 23 The Romance of the Western Chamber. Fans will expect something wildly spicy, but the actual story inside stays perfectly intact. Just watch the plot. Instead of hiding sensitive words in black ink, we highlight them in blood red to instantly grab attention. Roya blushes hard, brother. You feel completely different from when we were kids. Lucas just smiles, saying he hasn't changed. A lot of practice, he claims. CJ bounces with excitement. Big brother, my mom was totally right about you. You are seriously capable. She read the book and said the original story was a mess, but your rewrite fixed everything. It is absolutely amazing. Lucas watches him. This kid is clueless. The second lady definitely sent him to spy on me. Yet here he is, trying to team up instead. Over at the next table, a group of stuck-up scholars start whispering. Where did this kid even come from? He looks completely ordinary, yet he struts around claiming to be some massive talent. CJ snaps immediately. I am a son of the Fung family. Nobody talks to me like that. Who do you guys think you are? These lowly scholars dare to insult me. Lucas calculates the room. We are sitting on the exclusive 3rd floor. Everyone here holds serious rank. Watch closely. If somebody picks a fight here, it is a deliberate flex of power. Big brother, stay right here, CJ growls. I will teach them a lesson. Lucas tells him to relax. There is no need. But Roya intervenes. Let him go. He will put on a great show. CJ marches straight over and singles a scholar out. You are the one talking garbage, right? The scholar barely blinks. So what if I was? What will you do about it? Magic Emperor is an absolute masterpiece. Anyone who disagrees is just spewing total nonsense. Roya leans in, brother. He is literally praising your writing. Lucas flashes a grin, saying that definitely makes his day. But CJ totally misses the compliment and charges forward in a blind rage. Do not ever badmouth my older brother. He yanks the scholar's ribbon, ripping his hair loose. The man screams out, are you out of your mind? I literally just washed my hair this morning and you wrecked it. I needed conditioner. Now I have to go all the way home. You should have thought of that before opening your mouth, CJ snaps. He winds up a punch, but a heavy hand grabs his wrist. Let me go, CJ yells, how dare you touch me? The man behind him speaks like ice toss this brat, he is ruining the vibe. A massive guard lifts CJ and hurls him across the room. CJ braces for a broken bone, but Lucas instantly flashes forward. He catches the kid in midair. You insulted us first, Lucas states perfectly calm. Then when my younger brother came to talk, you just attacked him without a second thought. A scholar spots Roya. Wait, isn't that Miss Feng the top talent? In the entire capital? Another points, and this kid, could he actually be the young master of the Feng family? Another mutters. No wonder he is so incredibly arrogant, he is Count Sinan's son. Lucas locks eyes with them. Tell me exactly who you are. The scholar sneers. The name is Gu Baokun. His father serves the palace. Guo glares, his voice turning completely cold. You think being a Feng lets you look down on everyone else? Us ordinary folks are not going to accept that disrespect. So we are not gentlemen, Lucas counters. The person who attacked you from our side is literally a 12-year-old child. He hasn't even started formal schooling yet. His foolishness makes total sense. But you, a fully grown and educated scholar, you act like a complete idiot. What do we even call you then? A grown man dumber than a prepubescent kid. Your Feng family has serious nerve, one of the men snaps back. Spitting that kind of arrogance right in front of educated scholars? I am not defending myself. Lucas shrugs. You sat up here drinking with the noble kids, just having a great time. But you got drunk on a little status, completely forgot your place, and started randomly bullying people for zero reason. Now that someone finally checked you, your feelings are hurt. Remember, the harsh truth scholars in this city are literally just tools. The Emperor uses you up and throws you in the trash with absolutely nothing. Guo sees red. He screams for his guard to attack. The muscle rushes in, throwing a brutal haymaker right at Lucas. But Lucas smoothly sidesteps, deflects the heavy arm away, and buries a devastating punch right into the guard's face. The huge man launches backward, shattering through the glass window. The room freezes in pure shock at his insane physical strength. You cannot just use martial arts to bully people, Guo stammers. Lucas and his siblings turn to leave, leaving the terrified scholars whispering. They are all desperately trying to figure out his identity. For a wealthy noble, his combat power is unreal. Nothing like the usual spoiled rich kids who cannot throw a punch. The Feng family reputation is seriously impressive. Hearing people praise his big brother CJ feels absolute massive pride. Right on cue, Prince Nanking Ling steps into the mess. Sister Roya is actually out today, the prince laughs. That is a rare sight. Roya blinks in surprise, your highness, you are here. She quickly turns to introduce Lucas. Brother, this is the royal prince. Our Feng family and his palace have maintained a rock-solid bond. We have literally been cooperating for centuries. Your highness, this is the older brother I am always talking about, the prince smirks. I just heard there was some trouble starting up here. Up on the third floor with those scholars, Guo quickly steps forward. He tells his highness that is absolutely correct. He begs the prince for justice because these guys caused them so much trouble, but the prince replies with total ice. He points out he is currently speaking with some close friends. Interrupting right now would be highly inappropriate, so he hopes Guo understands. Hearing that warning, Guo panics and hurriedly runs off. The prince then turns back, claiming he was simply curious and had to ask. Lucas answers back, anyone can write, and most scholars here can easily craft up some decent stories. But he has something the others do not, true undeniable talent. The prince leans in, asking what he means. Lucas explains that back in the day, real ability meant actual talent. Nowadays, someone just attends a fancy banquet, makes a few cheap connections, and boom, they get labeled a genius. In his eyes, that title means absolutely nothing. Most of these so-called talented people today lack any real intellect. They are scholars only in name. They waste their money in brothels, leaving whatever brains they actually had with the women there. Hearing that massive insult, many scholars get highly offended, but the prince just smiles, telling Lucas he is absolutely right. Calling him a genuinely interesting guy, the prince invites Lucas to come visit whenever he has time so they can sit and chat. It would be quite an enjoyable time. Soon after, Lucas and his group leave the restaurant only to find Guo waiting for them outside. Super annoyed, CG demands to know why he is still standing there. Lucas just sighs and asks the guy what he wants now. Why stick around? Guo suddenly bows low, begging them to please forgive him. He admits he always believed he was powerful enough to never bow to anyone. But now he finally understands facing someone stronger means you have to bow. His pride completely blinded him, leading to that massive offense. The mistake has been weighing on his mind ever since, so he desperately asks for forgiveness. Lucas realizes the crown prince being involved has truly terrified this man, and honestly, he absolutely should be. His family could lose their power at any given second. Lucas simply steps forward and tells him it is totally fine. Everyone makes mistakes in life. The guy clearly learned his lesson, so he will not face any more trouble over this mess. And honestly, Lucas admits he said some unnecessary things today too, so Guo should not take those words to heart. Gu is absolutely stunned. What kind of guy is this? He not only forgave the insult, but even told him to stop feeling bad. Truly impressive. As they keep walking ahead, Roya suddenly starts cracking up. Lucas turns, asking why she is laughing. Did she think of a funny joke? Roya shakes her head no, explaining she was just thinking about Guo. At first, the guy was insanely arrogant, but later he sounded like a completely different person. She calls her brother's words truly amazing. Lucas brushes it off, asking what he even said that was so impressive. CG eagerly jumps in, calling his earlier speech totally incredible. Both Lucas and Roya just stop and stare at him. CG immediately panics. Did he say something wrong? Roya reminds him he called scholars disposable fans used and then just tossed aside. Lucas shrugs, claiming he was just pretty angry right then. He points out he is usually calm, but he absolutely cannot stand watching his own younger brother get beaten by someone else. Roya reassures him he did nothing wrong. Those annoying scholars provoked them first, and Lucas easily took down 3 of them all alone. That is seriously impressive. Everything he said today was just remarkable. Lucas sighs, telling her not to call it talent. He really hates that specific word. He then adds a lesson: if you want to move forward in life, choose to stand beside someone wise. Roya looks totally confused, asking what her brother is suddenly talking about. Meanwhile, CG stands there realizing they have both completely forgotten about him. Soon they finally reach their family carriage. After Roya and CG climb inside, Lucas tells the 2 of them to head home without him. CG protests, whining about wanting to go shopping, but Roya steps in, telling him to listen to their brother. He told them to go home, so they are leaving. The carriage starts moving, leaving CG complaining loudly to his sister that he wanted to stay. Suddenly, the loud thwack of CG getting hit echoes from the carriage. Watching them leave, Lucas realizes everything today happened directly because of CG. This street is packed with restaurants, and Roya even suggested heading somewhere else, but CG intentionally dragged them right here. Those scholars were indirectly praising him, and Roya did not mind, but CG picked a random fight for no reason and attacked despite the clear warnings. You see what is happening here? The kid's real intention was exposing his bad side to the prince, making him look completely worthless. Since the Feng family and the prince's mansion share a long-standing relationship, the royal influence is absolutely crucial for controlling the main family business. But there is just one massive problem here. A 12-year-old child could never have planned something this incredibly elaborate alone. Tang then steps up, asking what Lucas is thinking about. Giving his own honest opinion, Tang suggests the young master maybe did not orchestrate this, maybe everything just happened naturally. Lucas nods. Yeah, it is entirely possible CG did nothing and this whole mess unfolded on its own. Tang admits he only brought it up because Lucas seemed to suspect the kid. But Lucas points out one undeniable fact: CG is clearly tailing him on his mother's strict orders. Why else would he stubbornly try to stay behind? The real problem lies entirely with the mother pulling every single string. Things were perfectly fine for everyone here, but since Lucas arrived, chaos just follows him. Tang just nods, yeah, this has Lady Lu's fingerprints all over it. But Lucas points out the obvious flaw. Lady Lu is brilliant. Why would she ever trust some clumsy kid to handle an assassination? The math is completely wrong. Anyway, he asks Tang why he even showed up. Did he finally find clues about the attack? Tang puts on a dead serious face and admits he has absolutely zero clues. Lucas just stares at him. Then why are you even here? Meanwhile, across town, the crown prince is just chilling with a drink. The prince claims he loves literature and naturally enjoys chatting with cultured people. But looking at his current recruits, he is honestly just not impressed at all. His advisor quickly defends Na Hengwei, calling him Zhang Liu's top university scholar. They guarantee he will easily crack the top 3 in next year's imperial exams. The prince brushes it off. The guy might be smart, but his personality is garbage. They admit Gu Baokun is also useless, just a spoiled brat coasting on his dad's influence. Sure, he gets along with his older brother, but the guy cannot accomplish a single thing himself. The prince coldly states that weaklings like him never last long in these high noble circles. He is going down eventually. But this Lucas guy who just rolled into the capital, now he is actually catching the prince's attention. His advisor agrees by tomorrow the whole city will know the Fan family is hiding a seriously handsome genius young master. The prince just smirks and changes the subject. He is just waiting for the day Jing becomes minister and he takes the throne. They will rule this country together. Honestly, being emperor sounds like a pretty fun gig, so they drink to that grand future. Cut back to Tang getting absolutely decked in the face by Lucas. If you have nothing, why on earth did you drag yourself here? What am I even supposed to do with you? Tang drops right to his knees begging. Getting those files is practically impossible. He would have to risk his life for just one document. Lucas frowns, risking your neck over paperwork. That sounds insanely sketchy. What is actually going on here? Tang confesses he only joined the inspection department because they bailed him out a while back. They literally saved his life. And as a good official, he was just trying to stop injustice when he saw it. He caught Gu Baokun harassing a girl and stepped in. But the Guo family does not play fair, they are ruthless. They framed him, forcing his hand to kill a court official, and then they went straight after his entire bloodline. That is when the inspection department swooped in, saving his family and demanding his absolute loyalty in return. Then they handed him the job to assassinate Lucas. He obviously failed miserably and dragged himself back to the capital. But since that day, his family has vanished. Lucas narrows his eyes. Wait, did the department just hide them away? Tang swears the answers are in those files. If Lucas helps him grab them, he will gladly throw his life away for him. Lucas sighs, pulling the guy up to his feet. Fine, he is in. Soon enough, he rolls right up to the inspection agency. He cannot believe how naive Tang is. The agency never saved his family. They took them hostage to keep him on a leash. They weaponized a totally normal guy into a killer. This place is seriously bad news. Or maybe this whole mess really did start with beating up Gu Baokun. Time to see what is hiding behind these walls. 2 guards immediately give him the ultimate suspicious glare at the door. Inside, past a literal corpse, everyone is staring daggers at him. The vibe is completely off here. He yells out, "Why is everyone just creeping on me instead of actually doing your jobs?" One guy snaps back, "No outsider ever walks in here, so obviously they are going to stare when some random kid just strolls inside." But Lucas points out this agency is literally sitting right on the main street. It is a government office, right? If citizens have issues, they should just be able to walk right in. What is the big deal? The guard just laughs in his face. They do not care about ordinary peasants. They strictly handle official state business. No commoners allowed. And why would anyone in the capital even need to report anything? This agency already knows absolutely every single dirty secret out there. Lucas nods like he gets it. So outsiders are banned, but that is fine because he is definitely not an outsider. He casually pulls out the token Master Fei handed him. It is just his first time visiting the office, so he got a little turned around. The guard starts sweating immediately. A commander level badge. He stammers, asking who the hell Lucas actually is. Lucas proudly announces he is Master Fei's disciple. But the exact second those words drop, the tough guy standing right there vanishes. The guard is suddenly huddled way in the back, terrified. Master Fei's disciple makes total sense now. Lucas just frowns at the dramatic reaction. "You were right here a second ago," Lucas asks. "Why back off so far?" The guy stammers. "Being Master Fei's disciple means you are officially a poison master. For normal folks, standing near one is basically asking for death. So yeah, I stepped back." Lucas brushes it off. "Does not matter to me. Take me to Master Fei." The clerk awkwardly apologizes. "Bad luck, buddy. Master Fei is not even here. He took off to the border for a full inspection." Hurrying away, he shouts back, "Need something! Come back later." When the big boss finally returns, "I will personally let you know." Lucas immediately stops him. "Hold on a second, I have one more question. Can you help me out?" The guy quickly nods. "Of course, sir, whatever you need." Soon they hit the records room. The clerk smiles. "You want to check some files, since you are Master Fei's disciple, that is completely fine. You want the file for Tang Zijin?" Lucas raises an eyebrow. "Impressive. You memorized that name after exactly one hearing." The guy nervously asks. "Young master, why do you need this?" Lucas replies casually. "You should already know. I am the guy who killed Tang Zijin." The clerk hesitates. "There are thousands of files dumped here. Finding that specific one takes forever. How about I dig it up? I can just deliver it to your house later." Lucas narrows his eyes. This guy is totally lying. Thousands of files, yet he instantly recognized Tang Zijin's name right away. Now he pretends he has no clue where it is. The moment he figured out who I am, his vibe completely flipped. A guy this sharp would never struggle finding a single folder. He is definitely hiding something major. Lucas glares at him. "I get it now. You are scared of something, worried I might actually report it. But hear this loud and clear. I want that file delivered by tomorrow, no delays. By the way, what is your name?" Wan Qinyan the man stammers. Walking away, Lucas sighs. "Master Fei is not in the capital. I really needed his help." "Well, I still have time. Maybe I should go visit the Prime Minister's daughter instead. That might actually be pretty useful. If I figure out her illness, I could probably cure it. Honestly, I might be the only person alive who can heal her." Stepping outside, Lucas realizes one massive thing. The inspection agency treats its own people way differently than total strangers. Insiders get the royal treatment, but outsiders watch closely. Even just leaving this building might become a huge headache. Suddenly, a giant stone tablet catches his eye. A name is engraved right there. His mother, Qin Mei. Shocked, Lucas mutters. "My mother's name on the Overwatch Council growing up, I knew her family was once the absolute richest around. So ridiculously loaded that even the king looked broke. Yet despite all that cash, she never found real peace. Uncle Wuju once mentioned that 10 years ago during our massive family disaster, every single one of our enemies got wiped out. Since then, nobody in this entire country dares to whisper my mother's name, but something really does not add up here. Uncle Wuju is an absolute beast who protected me forever. If a monster like him guarded us, how did Mom actually die? Her death and the royal family have to be connected somehow. Those guys definitely know exactly what went down. And how is the Overwatch Council flaunting her name and property so openly? This whole situation feels incredibly shady. Wandering around totally lost, Lucas sighs. My bad. I got so distracted I just walked into some completely random area. Looking ahead, he spots a guy. Directions to the Feng mansion, but right as he steps up to the door, a guard blocks him, yelling out, "Stop right there! Leave now. VIPs are worshipping inside this temple. Do not disturb them." Lucas casually replies, "Honestly, I just wanted quick directions, but your arrogant attitude is seriously starting to annoy me. Let me peek inside, then I will leave." The guard randomly attacks, but Lucas easily blasts him back with pure power. They both charge up their energy, throwing heavy punches. The wild shockwave actually forces Lucas back out of the temple. Pella scoffs at him. "Such a cocky attitude for a young kid. What noble family do you even belong to?" Lucas snaps back. "Why does my family matter at all? The king's law says literally anyone can worship in here. So why are you blocking the door? I want to pray too." Pella glares. "There are major nobles inside right now. You can pray when they finish. Nobody will stop you." With that, he slams the gate shut. The second Pella leaves, a massive shockwave rips through Lucas's body. He suddenly drops to his knees, coughing up actual blood. Wiping his mouth, he thinks, "Thank God I held back my full strength during that clash with him. Otherwise I would be seriously wrecked right now. Whoever is praying inside must be a massive VIP, which explains everything." Turning to leave, Lucas mutters, "I am not quite strong enough to beat you yet, so I will behave. As for the Fung Mansion, I will just find it myself." Suddenly he opens the gate again, telling the young man their master allowed him to pray inside the side hall. But under no circumstances should he enter the main hall. Lucas just thinks this guy has a terrible attitude. He speaks up, "You attacked me for zero reason, and by law, everyone has the absolute right to pray here." Pella coldly repeats his warning to stay out of the main hall. Lucas casually replies that he heard him perfectly. He promises to behave. Meanwhile, inside that forbidden main hall, Pella walks up to a very mysterious-looking man. Pella confirms he sent the kid to the side hall as ordered. The man finds it fascinating that some boy actually pushed Pella back. Pella confidently admits to his master that the opponent was incredibly strong. The man just nods, calling that a good thing. It means the country still produces promising young talent. Meanwhile, Lucas steps into the side hall and starts his prayers. He tells God his past life was awful, mostly spent suffering from illness, so this time he just wants pure peace. And hey, if he happens to get rich and meet beautiful women, even better. Suddenly, something drops onto the floor. Lucas looks around in total confusion. Did God hear his prayer and decide to drop a blessing right on the spot? Then he spots movement under a nearby table. He draws his knife ready to see who is playing God today. He lifts the curtain and freezes in shock. An insanely beautiful girl is hiding right there. Before Lucas can even say a word, he suddenly starts coughing up blood. The girl immediately asks what is wrong. Lucas waves it off, claiming he is completely used to it. She smiles softly. Then they both ask who the other is in perfect unison. Silence falls over them both, feeling a little awkward. Right on cue, a voice calls out from outside looking for the young miss. The girl quickly shouts back that she came to pray and is heading over now. She turns to leave and Lucas asks if she will come back tomorrow. Instead of answering, she just hurries away. Lucas steps forward, begging for at least her name. Instead, the girl abruptly shoves a piece of chicken into his hand and runs. Staring at it, Lucas mutters that she already took a bite, making this one extremely lucky chicken. Far off, Uncle Wuju watches the whole scene. Meanwhile, the girl leaves in a heavily guarded carriage. Pella is still thinking about how that kid matched his level. If they had fought seriously, Pella might have actually lost. The kid effortlessly took down an 8th grade fighter earlier. He even knocked out several Lin family guards with a single move. That boy hides some truly insane fighting power. He matches a great master. Mark my words, they better tread carefully around him from now on. Just then a voice calls from inside the carriage telling him to listen. Pella respectfully asks his master what he needs. The master orders that if Chen Ping refuses to show up, Pella must drag him back by force. Pella understands completely. Internally, Pella groans about Chen Ping being a massive headache. He would honestly rather fight a highly skilled assassin. But dealing with that guy is a total nightmare. Meanwhile, over in a completely different carriage, that same girl sits quietly. Her maid points out how happy the young miss seems after visiting the temple. The young lady claims she is always happy. She asks what is so special about today. The maid insists that right now she looks glowing. The girl just smiles, noting that taking a real walk outside beats being locked inside a boring room any day. The maid hesitates, reminding her the doctor forbid roaming around like this. Even a slight breeze could seriously worsen her condition. Yining knows her maid is right. She can never live freely like normal people or even openly eat the chicken she loves. This awful illness makes her life completely miserable. Out of nowhere, she starts coughing up blood, sending her maid into a total panic. This is the second time this month. Yining stays perfectly calm, quietly saying she is just used to it by now. The maid worries over how serious her condition is, yet she still seems oddly cheerful today. The scene cuts back to Lucas looking incredibly happy. The second lady mentions Lucas must be tired, explaining why he barely touches his food. Roya chimes in saying her brother just looks confused. He told them to head home early but then walked back all by himself. The guy really has to be exhausted. The Count steps in telling Lucas to focus on his meal so they can all play a game after dinner. Lucas asks if that is really necessary. The Count just smiles, admitting that before he arrived, their family felt totally incomplete. Now that he is here, they are finally whole again, so they should celebrate properly. Soon, the game is fully set up. Lucas arranges the pieces and little CJ eagerly asks to be shown how it works, but Lucas stands up claiming he is too tired. He lets CJ take his spot. The kid excitedly asks to play. The Count agrees, and Roya adds she has never played against Dad before. But before the Count can even make his first move, CJ suddenly interrupts. "Wait, Dad, I already won!" Roya is absolutely stunned. How is that even possible? A bit later, Lucas walks back in only to find CJ has somehow cleaned everyone out of their money using the game. Everyone else is taking heavy losses. Lucas realizes this kid is calculating every single move. His math skills are actually razor-sharp, absolute genius level. The second lady announces his older brother is back. Time to hit the books. Roya chimes in, "Go study, she will be testing him later." The Count suddenly stands up. Game over. Inwardly, he curses losing so much cash to a literal child. The second lady heads off to rest. CJ whines that everyone quit right when he started. Lucas then points out how ridiculously good CJ is at math. He asks what the kid actually wants to be. CJ claims he is studying hard to become a government official. Lucas tells him to drop the act since it is just them. CJ finally cracks, honestly, he wants to be a businessman. He just loves making money. Roya argues that an official has a way better life than any merchant. She claims business offers zero real benefits, but Lucas disagrees controlling your own cash is true power, so he backs CJ. He completely supports the businessman dream. CJ smiles and thanks him, though their father will never approve. Start anyway, Lucas says. Show the old man some real talent and maybe he will back down. Getting hyped, CJ demands the next chapter of his brother's book. He plans to sell it for massive profit. Lucas just smirks and asks if he is joking. Cue the dramatic tears from CJ. He wails that people only offer empty advice without actually helping, calling his brother cruel. Lucas sees right through the guilt trip. Fine then. If he wants the writing, the kid has to put in the work and draft a proper business plan. CJ looks confused. What plan? Roya steps in to explain it means mapping out your future steps in advance. CJ puffs his chest out, calling that super easy. He can handle it easily. Snatching up his cash, he happily skips out. Lucas stretches, noting everyone is gone, so he should sleep. But Roya blocks his path. She asks why he looks so thrilled today, clearly something really good went down. She notes his exhaustion and suggests talking tomorrow. Lucas immediately forces her into a chair, telling her to listen closely. He explains hitting up a temple today and running into this incredibly cute girl eating chicken. Roya leans in, demanding the rest. Lucas spills the entire bizarre encounter. Roya recaps it flatly. He went to pray and found a gorgeous girl eating chicken under some table. Meeting her at a temple has to be divine intervention, he insists. He even suspects this mystery girl might actually be Miss Lin. Roya shuts that down fast. She hates to break it to him, but Miss Lin is severely ill. The woman is strictly confined to her home, meaning that temple girl is definitely someone else. Lucas sighs, admitting she is completely right. A bedridden patient who cannot even step outside would never be caught sneaking chicken at a public temple. Roya decides to take off, telling him to finally get some sleep. The second the door shuts, Lucas bursts into tears. His grand romance just crashed before taking off, but wait, he absolutely refuses to let his story die like this. He is willing to destroy his current engagement if he has to. He wants that temple girl. Suddenly, CJ barges back into the room. The kid asks who exactly he is plotting to get. Annoyed, Lucas snaps that knocking is a thing people usually do. Now watch this kid work. CJ slaps down a business plan that practically guarantees them an absolute mountain of profit. Prove it. Lucas demands to see the genius strategy. CJ dives right into his meticulous math calculations. A single book holds 10 chapters priced at 8 silver taels each. Right now, they have 68 chapters ready to go. The capital city holds roughly 600,000 residents. If a mere 1 in 60 buys this novel, the numbers explode. They would clear 38,400 silver taels, an insane fortune. Lucas counters that revenue is not actual profit. He has to factor in production costs. CJ grins, confirming he has already crunched those exact numbers too. Renting prime real estate on the capital main street is definitely pricey, but the foot traffic guarantees heavy sales. A quick word with their father could easily secure a discount. Plus, he already knows established merchants ready to push their inventory. The ultimate trump card is Wangwan Hall. Lucas raises an eyebrow, asking what kind of shady place that is. CJ explains it is a private printing press. With a massive workforce, they can churn out copies with terrifying speed. They keep printing costs rock bottom. The best part? They have deep pockets but absolutely zero political backing to protect themselves. That means they would never dare pirate the book. Lucas gets it, but asks how they stop everyone else from copying. CJ coldly states that if anyone tries to steal their work, they will just weaponize the government against them. Lucas scoffs. Does he seriously think the Capitol Guards are just waiting around to serve the Fang family every whim? Legally, book copying is completely allowed. CJ fires back without missing a beat. Their family has enough power to rewrite the laws entirely. They can just use physical force to stop customers from buying fakes. They have that kind of muscle. Lucas stares in disbelief. CJ insists his brother just doesn't grasp their family's true authority. Dominating the book market guarantees a fortune. Lucas just smiles for pure profit. His kid brother is absolutely ruthless. He will use officials, the government, and businessmen alike. Nobody is safe. Honestly, this kid is destined for major success. CJ asks if his brother is praising him or just calling him a complete villain. Lucas answers. The capital is rich, but how many can actually afford this book? CJ fires back. Lucas is completely underestimating his own work. The manuscript is brilliant. Tons of noble ladies across the capital are already lining up for the big release. The second it drops, people will rush the shelves. Selling a few thousand copies will be a total breeze. Once the profits roll in, they will launch more. They can even auction off special editions for some insanely high prices. CJ swears to make 10 times the profit or he will change his name entirely. You have to admit this kid is scary sharp. But how do they hide this whole operation from the family? CJ smirks. He already has a solid plan for that. They will open a secret shop in Xingyutong. Hearing this, Lucas just pulls out a stack of cash and hands it over. The plan is completely solid. He has his support. But to go big, their father's name alone just will not cut it. They need to pass some benefits around. CJ already has that covered, planning to bribe officials so the money train never stops. Lucas gives an approving nod. They officially launch this scheme tomorrow. The capital is massive, making it nearly impossible to find someone. Lucas decides to try his luck again tomorrow. Maybe he will run into that mysterious girl. The next day, Lucas returns to the temple while the local crowd starts whispering. Who is this guy waiting for outside? Lucas looks around. Yesterday, this entire place was a complete ghost town. Why is it suddenly packed today? Figuring he arrived too early, he decides to just walk inside and check. Meanwhile, Pella spies on him from behind the gate. He knew this kid would eventually show his face again. Sitting at the gate all day definitely looks suspicious. Pella decides he is absolutely not letting him walk away today. As Lucas approaches, Pella gets ready to ambush, but Lucas suddenly freezes in his tracks hearing Uncle Wuju speak. The voice warns of immediate danger. Lucas steps back, completely confused about what just happened. Was that actually Uncle Wuju giving a warning? If there is a real threat inside, he needs to bail right now. Seeing him retreat, Pella realizes his prey is escaping. He has to make a move and catch him instantly. Suddenly, Uncle Wuju materializes right behind Pella, resting a cold blade directly against his neck. Pella freezes in absolute shock. He never even sensed the man approach. Moving at this insane speed, the guy has to be a master-level expert. Against a true master, survival is basically impossible. With no way out, Pella decides to go down swinging. Pella unleashes a massive wave of energy. He dares this expert to show his power, and honestly, he is about to regret it. He spins around and launches a completely devastating attack. But when the dust settles, nobody is actually there. The sheer recoil of his own furious strike backfires, leaving Pella heavily injured and spitting up blood. Pure panic made him think the guy was about to slice his head off. Throwing that desperate full-power attack just ended up wrecking his own body. This master slipped behind him flawlessly, then vanished so fast that a point-blank strike hit dead air. He could have easily taken his life, so why spare him? Furious and confused, Pella screams into the void. Master Wuju is just casually standing above him. He explains the math Pella made Lucas bleed, so now Pella bleeds. It is simple payback. Any pain inflicted on Lucas gets returned in equal measure. Meanwhile, Lucas finally heads back to the Fang Mansion. The Count starts interrogating him. Lucas has been in the capital for a while, so why is he just wandering around uselessly? He also knows about the recent restaurant brawl. He warns Lucas to stop fighting or he will end up a complete failure. The Count firmly believes that ruling with an iron fist will somehow fix his son's future. He orders Lucas to follow him for a serious talk, and the two head straight into the study. The Count lays out two rules. First, a major exam is coming up and Lucas needs to start studying immediately. Second, there is a major political gathering at the princess's mansion tomorrow, and his attendance is absolutely mandatory. Word from Roya says Lucas is actually good at poetry. This is the perfect chance to show off those hidden skills. Lucas keeps it bluntly honest. He hates studying, would rather be fighting, and refuses to perform poetry like some circus monkey. It is just boring. The Count snaps back. Playing these political games is the only way to reclaim their family property. A good poem could leave a massive impression on both the eldest princess and the prime minister. Right now, the eldest princess completely controls his mother's old business, making her a very crucial target. The fight for the royal business is fierce. Honestly, if she wasn't in charge, the royal family would be tearing each other apart by now. She plans to hand everything down to her daughter, and that is exactly why she picked Lucas for the marriage. He has to show off some real talent to prove his worth. Lucas just sighs heavily. He gets the point, Dad. But he has zero interest in this. Does he seriously have to sit for exams and recite poetry in front of a crowd? The Count lays it out. Tomorrow's poetry club is packed with massive heavyweights from the capital. Top scholars and major players. Dropping just one impressive line could put him right on the map. Both the prime minister and the eldest princess will be watching closely. Huge opportunity. Lucas, however, could not care less. Then the Count drops the bait. His fiancée Miss Lin might actually show up. Perfect chance for a little meet and greet. Lucas instantly snaps to attention. Is Miss Lin really going to be there? The Count just gives a knowing smirk. So much for not being interested. Lucas fires back, why wouldn't he be? She is literally the woman he's marrying. But the Count heard a rumor, something about a temple girl. Lucas met someone he allegedly wants to marry instead. What kind of father is this guy? He literally knows everything. Lucas plays it cool. Dad, do not believe the gossip. He is marrying Miss Lin, no one else crosses his mind. Well, maybe after tying the knot, he can explore other options. The Count keeps it simple. Go if you want, stay if you do not. Just remember, never bow down to anyone. Then Lucas asks the real question. How did his dad even find out he is good at poetry? Nobody in the family knows. He only sent his poems and letters to Roya, plus that temple girl thing. How does this old man know everything? Hidden spies? The Count masterfully dodges the question. He claims he is totally exhausted and kicks his son out of the room. Lucas grabs his book, demanding an explanation for this insane intelligence network. The Count drops the tired act right there. Oh, is that right? Then first explain that secret deal between you and your brother. Lucas immediately aborts the mission. Let us just forget it, Dad. He scrambles right out of there. The Count chuckles. The kid tried outsmarting the master, completely forgetting who raised him. Annoyed, Lucas realizes this old man is way too meddlesome. He absolutely has to watch his back from now on. The next day brings a massive turnout at the club. Roya notes the huge crowd, but honestly, it is totally expected. Capital folks do not really care about martial arts masters. Poetry clubs, on the other hand, are the absolute main event. Lucas gives Roya strict orders if Miss Lin shows up or if anyone bothers her, flag him immediately. Roya gives a nod. Right on cue, the Crown Prince strolls in. Sister Roya, brother Lucas, he says he has been waiting for them all day. Lucas smiles warmly at the greeting. The Crown Prince leads them inside while the surrounding crowd starts whispering furiously about their identities. The prince himself went out to welcome them. Some guy gossips back. Well, obviously the prince has a massive crush on Roya, hence the incredibly special treatment. Lucas catches every single word as they step into a main hall packed with eager scholars. Lucas scans the room, genuinely confused by the turnout. And worse, it looks like men and women are seated in completely separate sections. How on earth is he supposed to find Miss Lin? Now everyone is just here to flex their egos. What a total snooze. Suddenly, Mr. Gu marches right up to him. He sneers, asking if this supposedly noble guy is just here to bootlick the prince for some clout. Can he even write a single line of poetry? Lucas stays completely cool. The prince sent an invite, so he showed up. As for his poetic skills, that is his business, not Gu's. Mr. Gu seethes internally. This guy utterly humiliated him last time. No way is he letting it slide today. Watch how fast things escalate. Just then, the Crown Prince interrupts, announcing all VIPs are officially present. The club is now in session. His sister Princess Jang will lay out the topics for today. The princess declares that everyone is completely free to present their poetry in any style they choose. No need for flashy displays here. She tells them to use pure wisdom, not brute strength. Immediately, a few guys eagerly step up to the front, spitting out verses for the princess. Lucas mutters under his breath. These guys are just her fan club, entirely desperate for a crumb of attention. The three men finish and proudly boast to everyone, claiming their work is absolute genius and totally unmatched. One even takes a smug shot at Lucas, noting he has not spoken once. Lucas brushes it off. If he lacked the skill, why would he even bother showing up? Taking the opening, Mr. Gu steps in. He loudly reminds everyone how Lucas called modern scholars completely talentless at a restaurant recently, claiming they were entirely unworthy. But seeing Lucas right now, Gu confidently declares that this rich kid is the real talentless hack. Take away the Count's money and he is nothing. The scholars instantly start murmuring their agreement. He was ridiculously arrogant back then, disrespected everyone right in front of the prince, but now that it is finally his time to perform, why is he staying completely silent instead of presenting a poem, just sitting there looking arrogant? Some whisper that his sister Roya is an absolute prodigy. Her poetry is famous nationwide. Yet here is Lucas entirely mute. They figure growing up outside the main family house left him completely talentless. There has to be a reason. The prince watches him, wondering how Lucas stays so calm under fire. How is he not cracking under this? The prince finally speaks up. Nobody is forced to present poetry today. Participation is strictly voluntary. He turns to Lucas, adding that it is totally up to him to perform or pass. No pressure at all. Mr. Gu immediately jumps in. Well then, I will just write another one. Over in the girls' hall, the princess is passing around the scholars' recent works for everyone to judge. The ladies agree these are actually pretty decent. Then the princess spots Roya, who is just sitting quietly alone. She walks over and asks Sister Roya, everyone is loving the poetry, why are you holding back? Roya simply does not care about other people's work. Meanwhile, another girl flips through the pile. Where is Lucas? The princess explains that Lucas refused to write anything. Clearly, some drama went down with Mr. Gu earlier, so he just skipped it. Roya shoots back an icy glare that Mr. Gu is an absolute idiot who never learns. Her brother is definitely going to school him. Another girl sighs. I only came here for Lucas today. These other guys are totally boring. Then she smirks. Besides, Lucas already has a terribly embarrassing family background. Not even his father's legitimate son and zero talent to make up for it. How is he so utterly useless? Roya snaps instantly. She warns Gong Lin to watch her mouth or she will seriously regret saying another word. The room drops into dead silence. Gong Lin scoffs. You are normally so quiet, Roya. Why freak out today? Roya fires back hard. Miss Lin is marrying my brother and she can cancel it herself if she has issues. But you have absolutely zero right to trash talk him. One more word and this entire friendship is completely over. Gong Lin scoffs. Who even is he to marry Miss Bai? At least my own brother has a living father. And you lack both parents entirely. So maybe think twice before you try lecturing me about social status right now. Gong Lin shuts her mouth. Roya sits back down, smoothing her dress. We are here for poetry, so I am participating. I am writing one right now. Gong Lin stares, realizing Roya goes absolute demon mode when her brother gets insulted. Soon enough, Roya's poem makes the rounds. The crowd instantly eats it up. Miss Roya is genuinely gifted. A truly excellent piece of work. Mr. Gu chimes in, capturing the Donji scenery like this is pretty impressive. It has a few minor flaws, but overall quite brilliant. Then a maid drops a massive bombshell on the room. Roya confessed her brother actually wrote this exact poem back when he was barely 10. She just copied it to secure first place. Now watch this reaction, the whole room freezes. Lucas wrote this at 10? So the guy is a literal genius just hiding his skills. The prince nods. A 10-year-old writing this is wild. It perfectly captures the laws of nature. Calm on the surface, but violently unstoppable when it finally gets provoked. Mr. Lucas is a hidden gem. Mr. Gu instantly snaps back. Stop spouting total nonsense. I refuse to believe a kid wrote this. And if Lucas did, his current work should be mind-blowing today. Why not write something entirely new? I want proof. The prince agrees, yes, Lucas, this piece is absolutely stellar. You clearly have serious skills. If you drop a new poem right now, everyone will love it. Lucas shrugs lazily. I just wrote that out of boredom. Poetry never mattered to me. Mr. Gu lets out a sneer. Only a fraud talks like that. I am completely certain Lucas is lying to us. He lacks the brains for this. Lucas sighs heavily. Guess it is time to finally put these arrogant fools in their place. He grabs a pen. Fine, I will write one. Moments later, his fresh poem hits the girls' hall. They all crowd around desperate to see what the rumored genius created. They read it and gasp, the verses are insanely good. We really thought he was just stalling earlier out of fear. We figured he had zero talent, but nope. The guy is a full-blown literary god masking his true power. Roya smiles with pride. She knew her big brother was going to drop an absolute masterpiece on them. And he totally delivered. Meanwhile, Lucas sighs, so much time wasted on poetry. Wonder if Roya met my fiancé yet. Back in the main room, the scholars are completely losing their minds. Only a once-in-a-generation talent writes this. Every single detail hits perfectly and the flow is just unreal. The prince adds that for any poem to be truly great, it needs exactly 7 essential qualities. Lucas completely nailed every single one. It is an absolute masterpiece. Even if he never writes again, this piece alone is a national treasure. Meanwhile, Mr. Gu stews in bitter silence. He made a bet with Lucas only to get effortlessly crushed. Over on the side, the prince is thinking hard. The prince always thought Roya was the only exceptional talent in the Fang family, but her older brother Lucas is just as insane. Meeting him earlier would have been a massive advantage. Meanwhile, Roya is pacing around the courtyard completely lost in deep thought. She totally forgot the task her brother gave her. Right on cue, Gonglin walks up to her and speaks out. Gonglin asks if Roya is avoiding her, now completely freezing her out. She admits Lucas is a pretty brilliant poet, though. But she still insists on breaking off the engagement. Roya snaps back, how dare she even say that? Is her brother's raw talent somehow not enough? If Miss Lin actually heard that poem, she would be more than happy. Gonglin sighs, saying she needs to be honest here. Miss Lin simply does not want to marry Lucas. A few days ago at a temple, she ran into someone else by total chance, and she fell for him. That is why she is refusing. Roya stays calm, reminding her they belong to noble houses. Kids do not get to pick their own partners in these families. The family decides. Gonglin knows that, but she reminds Roya about Miss Lin's incredibly fragile health. She might only have a few years left. At the absolute minimum, she deserves to marry someone she actually loves before she passes away. Roya admits she gets the point, but her hands are completely tied here. But her father knows a very famous doctor and he is sending him over to treat her. Gonglin just shakes her head, calling it useless. Even the imperial doctors failed to cure her condition. So what could this guy do? Roya smiles confidently. This doctor studies directly under Master Fei. Gonglin's eyes go wide. The exact same Master Fei who ranks as one of the 3 greatest poison masters alive. Roya nods, confirming it. Gonglin lights up with excitement, realizing their young lady might actually have a real shot at recovering. Honestly, Roya thinks the maid is pretty weird, flipping her attitude in seconds. The scene shifts again. Lucas is already out of the poetry club, heading straight home. Tang reports that his investigation shows Gu Baokun frequently visits some pretty shady spots. And he goes begging for help every 3 days. The map in his hand leads right there. Lucas tells Tang he needs his backup today. Time for a real lesson. Watch how he handles this. If he does nothing, Gu Baokun will just mistake it for weakness and keep pushing him. Tang stays ice cold, asking if a guy like that deserves death. Should he do it? Lucas shakes his head. No need for murder here. Just guide him there, he will handle it personally and keep everything completely quiet. Then Lucas casually drops that the prince invited him out. Tang notes the invitation is for the Jingu building. Lucas just thinks that is a really strange name for a restaurant. His subordinate quickly corrects him. It is not a restaurant, it is a literal brothel. Lucas just shrugs, not caring where he meets the royalty. Getting a meeting with him is huge enough already. He just needs to stay alert for anything. Suddenly, Roya shows up, announcing she has arranged everything for him. She asks if he was busy plotting something. She was searching everywhere, and he was just chilling inside this carriage. Lucas brushes it off. Nope, nothing special going on. Just chatting about minor stuff. Roya confirms his task is done. Now he has to go pretend to be Master Fei's direct student. That disguise will get him right inside Miss Lin's mansion to meet her. Lucas flashes a grin, calling her the absolute best sister in the world. Roya smiles to herself, genuinely glad to see her brother happy. Then she asks where exactly he is heading off to tonight. Nowhere special, he lies. Fast forward to tonight, deep inside the brothel. A girl named Siren welcomes him in, thrilled to see the young master. Yes, right inside the entertainment house. Siren repeats herself, pouring on the charm and saying how happy they are to host him. She calls him incredibly generous, sliding up close and making Lucas flush with awkward embarrassment. Right then, the prince walks in. Lucas instantly scoots away. The prince smirks, noting how well Miss Siren always serves her guests. Does he not like her? Lucas plays it off, joking that he would have already gotten to business if the prince had not interrupted. Just then, a maid announces that Miss Yuan has officially arrived. Soon enough, the drinks start flowing. Lucas takes a sip, calling the drinks excellent. The prince smugly thinks to himself he knew Lucas would enjoy this spot. Jihu is incredibly famous these days, and the women are top tier at entertaining. Miss Siren is easily one of the absolute best. Gorgeous, flawless at music, chess, and calligraphy, guys would gladly throw away their entire life savings just for a glance at her. Her surname is Lee, matching the royal family. She would actually be royalty right now if her ancestors had not committed some massive, unforgivable crime. Lucas already booked the Jingu building, getting personal service from the managers themselves. This night is about to get interesting. The prince quietly questions exactly why Lucas invited him out. Breaking the tension, Lucas tells him he admits he is entirely new to the capital, completely unfamiliar with these spots honestly. So he brought the prince along to enjoy the night. His own brother is just way too young. Agreeing warmly, the prince calls him a brother. They are family. With pleasantries totally out of the way, heavy drinking immediately begins. Lucas pivots to his actual scheme. Watch closely here. The prince agrees rare opportunities like this are totally worth taking, saying that the prince leaves with Miss Yuen. But right before things begin, Siren completely blacks out. Pushing the unconscious girl away, Lucas gets immediately teased by Miss Yuen. He obviously really prefers Siren. Playing along, the prince claims everyone loves this spot. In reality, he is just acting as a convenient human shield for Lucas tonight. Miss Yuen questions his weird obsession. The prince simply replies that she still vastly underestimates the guy. Sure, Lucas is an illegitimate child, but his father, Count Fang, the incredibly powerful Minister of Household Affairs, absolutely dotes on him. Catching on instantly, Miss Yuen nods. The prince desperately needs solid political backing from someone holding major royal influence. That is certainly part of it, but he also genuinely sees Lucas as a highly capable ally worth keeping close. True friends always cover for each other. Meanwhile, the comic cuts over Mr. Gu's carriage is violently ambushed. Attackers aggressively hack at the horses. It is actually Lucas and Tang. They physically block the muddy road, issuing a warning. They order the driver to stop. The angry guard screams back. Does he have any clue who sits inside that carriage? A completely terrified Mr. Gu stammers out demanding answers. Suddenly, a single card slices right inside the dark cabin. Panic sets in. He begs to know their demands. Unbothered, Lucas pulls off his mask and casually greets him. He cheerfully introduces himself. He was just a little bored today, so he decided a severe beatdown was absolutely necessary. Lacking any basic manners, he talks way too much. This harsh physical punishment is therefore absolutely mandatory for him. Lucas violently shoves him into a burlap sack. Mr. Gu begs for mercy, threatening to scream. Lucas stays ice cold. Asking if Mr. Gu thinks he is stupid, he points out he chose this totally abandoned spot for a reason. Dragging him out, Lucas unleashes a brutal beating. In absolute agony, Mr. Gu screams to just finish the job. The victim threatens Lucas with certain death. Completely unfazed, Lucas reminds him he came to throw punches, not listen. He hits harder. After a long thrashing, Lucas casually pulls him from the sack. He asks if he knows the real reason behind that poem. Mr. Gu weakly asks for the answer. Lucas frankly admits it is payback for the bullying. He is honestly enjoying every single second. Mr. Gu desperately apologizes. He begs him to stop swearing to never do it again. Lucas calmly asks what 1000 minus 7 equals. Confused, Mr. Gu stammers. Lucas swiftly answers 993. That is exactly how many hits are left on the menu. Skipping to the very next morning, Siren slowly wakes up to find Lucas sleeping beside her. He immediately checks on her. He complains she passed out immediately last night. She completely failed to entertain him, so he demands a much better job next time. Visiting a premium spot and getting zero enjoyment really stings. Instead, he blew his entire night beating a guy totally senseless. The guy genuinely complains it was painfully boring. Plus, there are zero safety measures here. Catching a nasty disease is a massive risk. Getting severely sick ruins everything. He firmly swears off these shady spots. Honestly, who can blame him? The story then cuts to the court. Demanding to know what happened, the prefect listens. The battered man introduces himself as Gu Baokun, officially filing assault charges against Fang Lucas. Pointing fingers at the Fang family heir directly, he claims Lucas ambushed him on his way home, ruthlessly beating him all night. He gestures to his mangled body as proof. The prefect immediately orders the complaint registered, dispatching guards to Count Fang's grand estate. But he quietly warns his men. Both families hold serious political power. Watch your step. Offending either side could easily get them all killed. Guards rush to the Fang residence. The prefect puts on a polite face. He promises a heavily bruised Mr. Gu that justice is coming. Back at Lucas's house, things are incredibly tense. The second lady severely scolds him. Random street fights risk exposing his true identity. Lucas casually deflects. He claims the assault report is completely fake and he never hit anyone. She fires right back. She insists he should have warned them beforehand to keep the court away. Thankfully, his influential father already pulled strings to handle it. Dismissing his excuses, she tells him to settle it in court. Highly suspicious, Lucas bluntly asks why she is actually helping him. She clarifies that despite everything, they are all Fang family members. Right now, the rival Gu family is boldly testing their absolute limits. Showing fear against such minor families is totally unacceptable. Just then, newly arrived guards politely ask to escort the young master away. Lucas politely thanks his aunt, casually offering to walk himself to the hearing. Reaching the court gates, he spots a massive buzzing crowd. This whole spectacle is incredibly strange to him. He is completely baffled as to how such a massive audience managed to gather so fast. His lawyer shakes his head. 20 years working in these courts, and he has never seen a crowd this massive outside. Inside, the prefect slams his gavel order in the court. Lucas has finally arrived. Gu's lawyer immediately snaps at Lucas for showing zero respect, completely ignoring everyone in the room with absolute arrogance. He points a finger, declaring Lucas absolutely assaulted young Master Gu Baokun while the bruised victim violently nods along. Lucas casually asks his own lawyer about the bearded guy yelling at him. Turns out his name is Sun Shirin. He is pretty famous around the capital, known for having trashy morals and taking fat paychecks from ridiculously wealthy families. Lucas shrugs. His family holds high official status, and according to the strict laws of the country itself, he literally doesn't have to bow to anyone here. The prefect actually nods and completely agrees with him. Thanks to his family's massive merits, skipping the greetings is perfectly legal. With that settled, the trial officially kicks off. The victim gets the floor first. Sun Shirin claims his poor client was ambushed in an alley last night and beaten like a dog. Just look at the guy's miserable face to see how badly he got wrecked. They demand some real justice. The prefect turns and asks if Lucas really did this. Lucas just looks at his lawyer, asking if he should even bother replying. The lawyer tells him to chill and let the professional handle it. He steps up loudly, declaring the entire accusation completely bogus. He insists their young master stayed home all night and they have plenty of servants from the Fang mansion ready to swear on it. Are they seriously going to claim some random assassin disguised himself as Lucas just to commit this attack? Sun Shirin sneers right back, calling it cheap wordplay. He argues that bringing your own paid servants as witnesses means absolutely nothing. Servants will obviously lie for their boss. Immediately, both lawyers start screaming at each other. Meanwhile, the crowd is totally confused. Lucas looks way too polite and skinny to ever beat a grown man half to death. Plus, Gu Baokun is famously pathetic anyway. Anyone could have jumped him. Lucas is definitely getting framed. Sun Shirin ignores the gossip and begs the judge to declare Lucas guilty, hand out a punishment, and wrap this easy case up. The prefect just smiles, asking Lucas for his side of the story. But before the kid can speak, his defender jumps in again. He shuts it down. The victim's own statement confirms he was stuffed completely inside a sack during the beating. If that is actually true, how on earth did he see the attacker? He literally cannot prove it was their young master. The judge nods along, admitting that makes perfect sense, but Sun Shirin counters the victim recognized his voice. He demands Lucas explain that. Lucas just stares bluntly, asking what kind of deeply stupid question that is. Obviously, his voice belongs to him. His lawyer smirks. In 20 straight years of legal work, not a single case has ever been closed just by someone guessing a voice. But right then, Sun Shirin dramatically whips out a scroll. He totally predicted this excuse, so he brought rock-solid physical evidence. He unrolls it, a poem personally written by Lucas himself just yesterday afternoon at the local poetry club. And apparently the mysterious street thug loudly recited this exact same poem while kicking Gu Baokun. It is an absolute match for Lucas. Hearing the verses, the judge just nods, thoroughly impressed by the excellent writing. Meanwhile, Lucas's lawyer internally panics, wondering what his idiot client did. If you are going to jump a guy in an alley, just punch him in silence. Reciting poetry mid-beating gave them a literal smoking gun. Out loud though, the lawyer spins it. He asks what kind of complete moron writes a poem by day, then loudly quotes it during a nighttime felony. It only proves someone is deliberately framing his client. Sitting there, Lucas just sighs heavily to himself. Wow, even his own lawyer thinks he is stupid. Sun Shirin demands he just confess already. The defense snaps back, telling him to drop the completely baseless accusations. A matched poem is not real physical proof, putting Lucas at the crime scene. The prefect bangs the gavel. Since nobody has any concrete proof and they just keep shouting, he decides to delay the trial until next time. The defense happily accepts, but Sun Shirin suddenly interrupts. Wait, if they need actual hard evidence, he has it right here. Right on cue, several random civilians march into the courtroom and drop to their knees. Sun Shirin introduces them as locals from the neighborhood. He claims they saw the assault happen. He tells the witnesses to explain exactly what they witnessed. They swear under oath that they spotted Lucas's personal carriage speeding out toward the west side of town. Smirking, Sun Shirin asks what Lucas was doing way out west, especially when his family mansion is in the exact opposite direction. Lucas gets dead serious. He sighs, realizing he has no choice left but to just reveal the absolute truth. His lawyer panics, begging him not to confess anything publicly. But Lucas cuts him off, admitting he secretly went to the Jingu building. The entire room completely gasps. Now get this, the crowd erupts about him visiting a scandalous pleasure house, shocking absolutely everyone. Gu Baokun screams at him to stop making up dirty excuses to cover up the fact that he committed the assault. The prefect slams his gavel order. Maintain decorum in this court. Sun Shirin smirks. So you were at the Jingu building, then plenty of witnesses can confirm your alibi. Lucas tells them to just ask Miss Siren to verify it, but Sun Shirin fires back coldly. She left for Suju this morning. Quite a coincidence, right? Or maybe you were terrified she would expose the truth, so you forced her out of town. Lucas realizes the sheer power at play. In just a few hours, the Gu family pressured the capital to exile Jingu building's biggest star. Watch closely, you really cannot underestimate these noble families. Sun Shirin declares that the situation is becoming crystal clear. He claims Lucas attacked Mr. Gu and is actively lying. He asks the judge to take the boy straight into custody. Lucas stays entirely calm. There is someone else who can prove his innocence, another person who knows exactly where he was. Sun Shirin demands a name and Lucas drops the bomb, the crown prince of our dynasty. Pure shock ripples through the courtroom. The prefect suddenly breaks into a nervous sweat, realizing he is doomed. First the Gu clan, then the Fang family, and now royal blood. He is completely trapped between towering political titans. Sun Shiren scoffs out loud. Your Honor, Lucas is just spewing absolute nonsense. Without any real evidence, he is just dragging the Crown Prince into this mess to save himself. The prefect panics and yells order. He declares he must review the case, carefully postponing the hearing for a later date. The lawyer realizes everything is unfolding exactly according to Lucas's grand plan. Insane, right? Meanwhile, the scene cuts straight to the royal palace. A maid recites Lucas's latest poem for the royal ladies, catching the attention of the Nanking family's queen mother. She calls the Fangboy's poem excellent, while the emperor's wife happily agrees this kid is incredibly talented. He holds massive potential. The queen mother adds that he is not just skilled, his words carry genuine depth. He actually understands his own writing. His raw talent is far beyond ordinary. But the eldest princess argues that his words carry heavy sorrow, and writing such dark emotions so young is quite dangerous. That boy must share a tragic fate, much like her own daughter. Her poor child is incredibly weak. She is completely bedridden and barely eating properly, yet her brother is already forcing a marriage with this Fang family boy. Someone whose dark fate might actually be worse than hers. What on earth will happen to her? The queen mother replies sternly, the girl's illness is your own fault. You made a massive mistake before she was born. Now you show up hoping I will oppose your brother and break the engagement, painting me as the bad guy. Let me make this clear. The emperor has approved this match. Absolutely nothing is changing. Besides, the Fang boy is deeply talented, so what is the real problem? The princess argues back. Even as the emperor, should her brother not find a better match? Why force her into the Fang family? Especially when he knows they openly clash with Lin Rufu. The queen mother snaps at her to be quiet. She kicks the guards out, steps right up and slaps the princess hard. The queen panics, asking what she is doing. The furious queen mother yells, how many times must I say not to mention that miserable Lin Rufu in my presence? He dragged the entire royal family through total humiliation. If you had not protected him, I would have executed him years ago. And yet, thanks to you, he currently sits as the prime minister. The eldest princess simply lowers her head. Mother, I am so sorry, she says. I will drop his name. This is entirely my fault. The queen mother reminds her that the daughter is getting married and her father still carries the Lin surname. She holds zero right to interfere with royal matters. Do you understand me? The princess quietly agrees. The queen mother then pivots right back to the queen. Now tell me, what were you saying earlier? The queen explains she was discussing a trial happening in the capital today. Literally the entire city is talking about it. Apparently Gu Baokun, the son of a high Gu family minister, caught a brutal late-night beating from Fang Lucas. The queen mother acts mildly surprised. So after a refined poetry gathering, this boy just went out and beat somebody. We jump scenes again. A completely furious Count Fang glares down Lucas, you did this, and it was incredibly foolish. Lucas gives an honest nod. Yes, father, I made a massive mistake acting like a fool. The count demands to know why. Lucas just shrugs it off, no big deal. Gu Baokun tried to bully him, so he taught him a lesson. Besides, he has his father and the prince backing him up. What could anyone possibly do? The count warns him sternly, you cause a massive disaster, yet act entirely unfazed. Gu Baokun connects directly to the second prince's faction, so this beating indirectly supports their enemies. The second prince. If people start talking, they will just assume our Fang family is completely throwing our weight behind him. Lucas is caught off guard. He realizes his tiny move carries massive weight, something he honestly had not even considered. The count snaps, drop the act and reveal your actual plan. Lucas drops his smile. Fine, he says, I will explain. If our family and Prince Jiang are chasing the exact same goal, then we are basically allies already, right? Count Sinan fires back. Picking a side before the next emperor is chosen is total stupidity. For now, they only serve the current ruler. Lucas nods along. He tells his father he gets it, promising to tread carefully and avoid any more reckless stunts. The count presses harder. Does Lucas even know how many times he had to negotiate with the Gu family to save his skin? Here in the capital, the line between right and wrong is strictly enforced. He knows his son is not stupid enough to miss that. Suddenly, Count Sinan freezes in pure shock. He stands right up, realizing he was totally right. His son is no fool, which means every single move was entirely on purpose. The scene cuts to the royal palace where the queen mother speaks up. Apparently, Gu Baokun tried to publicly humiliate Fang Lucas yesterday, but Lucas just beat him down instead. Honestly, she finds the boy quite impressive. The queen chimes in right away. Mother Queen Lucas has actually done much more. Despite a mountain of evidence stacked against him, the royal court could not touch him at all. The trial even got entirely delayed. Lucas even boldly claimed he was busy hanging out with the prince. Frowning slightly, the queen mother points out that they already know each other, and they are actively spending time together. She wonders when their relationship got so tight. The queen quickly replies, rumor has it that while Gu Baokun was getting beaten down, Lucas and the prince were actually hanging out at a brothel. So their bond is not actually that close. The queen mother coldly acknowledges this. Barely in the capital for a few days, and he is already visiting brothels. She stands up from her seat and sighs. She is exhausted and wants to rest. They will discuss this later. After the queen mother steps out, the eldest princess turns right to the queen. She knows she deliberately brought up Lucas. Just a moment ago, their mother was praising him, calling him a gifted poet with real courage in a fight. But by strategically bringing up that shady brothel visit, she completely ruined his image and made his morals look entirely questionable. She calls out the queen for expert scheming, easily manipulating their mother. The queen plays totally innocent. She asks the princess what she means claiming complete ignorance. The eldest princess snaps back. Thanks to her, the queen mother sees Lucas as an utter disgrace and will absolutely block his upcoming marriage, which is exactly what the queen wanted all along. The princess knows she is aiming for total control over the royal business, and she also knows Lucas is the rightful heir to it. That is precisely why she is trying so hard to intercept it, securing it for her own son instead. The queen answers coldly if the princess had not failed so miserably back then. None of these problems would even exist today. We will see what happens next in the following episode. Thanks for watching and definitely stay tuned.